Your life is officially cooked when bullying at your school isn't just normal, it's a competitive sport. And somehow, you're the MVP punching bag. After years of getting treated like a human stress ball, your parents finally pull the plug and move you to a new school. At first, it looks like heaven. Jocks and nerds are besties. Weak and strong share the same bench. For the first time ever, hope shows up. Then reality hits. This place settles grudges in an underground fight arena, and everyone is required to participate. When our guy refuses, the entire school unites for the first time just to bully him. But after 17 years of getting folded for free, the student council president lights a spark in him. And that's when our boy finally decides to swing back. A luxury car rolls through the streets. Our boy is too busy playing a video game on his phone, being an iPad kid. His dad tells him to stop playing on his phone, but today is the day Gilsoo has decided that either his dopamine receptors crash or the car. With a glazed look in his eyes, he continues to tap away. Seeing the lack of response, his mom starts to worry about him, wondering if Gilsoo's hearing is as bad as his breath. He should at least say something that he heard his dad. Gilsoo's father looks at him through the mirror and sighs. If only he had used protection 17 years ago, he wouldn't be raising an iPad kid and getting disrespected by him. Gilsoo looks at his phone, betting that his father regrets it. He recalls his classmates hovering over with a lighted cigarette in their hand. He remembers them bullying him, using his mouth as a human trash tray, and scribbling user on his face before beating the stuffing out of him. He bets that his father regrets having a weakling of a son like him. His mother breaks the silence. If his classmates in the new school bully him or beat him again, he can drop out of school. He regrets her words. If only she had said that before breaking the silence. If only she had given him the option before the bullies broke his legs. Now she has the audacity to claim that his happiness is everything to her. He looks at her, and only one word pops up in his mind: liar. He has told her over and over again that he wants to drop out, but she insists that he just transfer to a new school, as if that would solve his problem. He continues to ride in the car in silence. Even in the game, he loses. Classic loser behavior. He is so depressed that he even thinks about offing himself. He finally arrives at YMG High School. Footsteps echo through the school as our boy decides to make a comeback. Secretly, he wishes that he could run away with his tail between his legs. He wishes that the classes would be cancelled by an earthquake or an invasion. Our boy's life is so cooked that he would rather deal with terrorists than social interaction. He introduces himself as Gilsoo, someone who has moved from the main city, and he is new to the area. He hopes that he will get along. He silently waits for the teasing, for the banter, and for everyone calling him a simp. He hopes nothing too bad will happen today. All of a sudden, they start clapping. Gilsoo looks up and can't believe that they are actually clapping for him. He is used to getting his cheeks clapped by bullies, but this is a whole new thing. They smile and vow to be good friends. One of them even wants to sit with him. Gilsoo is taken aback by their enthusiasm. The day finally ends. A guy approaches him with his buddy. They are both looking at him as if he were fresh meat off the aisle. He nervously wonders what's up, but secretly he knows what's coming. He'll be having a knuckle sandwich before going home. He remembers a similar scenario years ago. One of them bullied him for not bringing the kind of bread he likes. It's happening again. As soon as the man puts his hand on his shoulder, Gilsoo flinches. The guy introduces himself as Doyle Jin. Jin asks him if everything is confusing, and maybe they should go to a snack bar. He'll also show him around. He nervously agrees, and they go to a snack bar. With his head low, he wonders if it's really happening. He's at a snack bar, not running an errand for a bully. Jin then asks Gilsoo if he has ever seen thick eyebrows just like his bro over here. No wonder his girlfriend dumped him. Gilsoo nervously scratches his head, saying that it's kind of charming. He plays it cool, and they continue to make fun of bushy brows. Gilsoo feels something's different about the school. All of the kids are happily enjoying each other. Each one is a model citizen. Even the nerds are getting along with the jocks. It's a paradise. He sighs and accidentally bumps into someone, spilling his grape juice on his fellow's shirt. The scary-looking guy looks at Gilsoo, telling him that he got grape juice all over his shirt. Gilsoo starts crashing out. He doesn't want his own shirt to be stained by blood because of his blunder. He promises to play it safe and pay for his cleaning. The man pats his shoulder and tells him not to worry about it. He'll consider it taken. Gilsoo can believe that he's so kind. It really looks like he stepped into another world, and maybe he can live a normal life. He smiles and packs up everything, ready to go home. He's feeling so glad that he's transferred that he'll go on in happiness today. All of a sudden, a shadow blocks his view. Jin arrives and wonders if he has any plans for today. Gilsoo nervously says that there is none, and he tells Gilsoo that maybe he should accompany him. They start on their little journey. After walking for a while, he nervously wonders where they are going. They've been walking for a long time. Jin tells him to keep quiet. He wants to show him a neat place. Gilsoo is getting suspicious. Will his bullying days continue in this new school? They're so far from the city that this bullying session could turn into a wanted poster session. Out of the blue, Jin wonders if Gilsoo practices martial arts. Gilsoo has no answer to that. The only martial arts he has practiced are getting his ass beaten and crying. Jin just smiles, telling him to prepare himself. They're almost there. Looking at the numerous scars covering Jin's body, Gilsoo can't help but remember all the times he was beaten senseless and even cut. He starts fidgeting and hesitating, wondering if he can go and they'll go there some other time. Jin, with a smile on his face and enough strength to knock an elephant out in his hand, grabs his shoulder and tells Gilsoo that it will only take a minute. They finally arrive in an abandoned warehouse. He wonders if all the kindness was a lie. It was a fool's paradise, and he was ready to get bullied again. But what meets him is not a bullying session but an underground fighting ring. He can't believe what he's seeing. Spectators cry out while students throw hands like it's another invasion. Gilsoo can't believe that they're actually running the fade after running classes. They explain that this is the greatest perk for YMG high school students. It's an arena. A man greets them with spiky hair and a muscular build. He stands out from the rebels. His name is Jang. Jin smiles. Gilsoo is the new transfer student. Even thick eyebrows are here, telling Jin that they should run the fade if he really thinks that his eyebrows are bushy. Jin gets ready and hops into the ring. Jang introduces himself as the school president. He's a 1.5 feet taller and might as well be Raditz's love child. He welcomes him to YMG High School. The students roar as both Bushy Brows and Jin run the fade, punching the lights out of each other. Jin wonders if he's doing well, and Gilsoo wonders why they are fighting. Jang smiles. The first years really have some oomph to them. Gilsoo looks around. Just what exactly is he doing? He explains that this is the true nature of their high school. He might not have noticed it yet, but they have no bullies because all feuds are settled through school violence after school, only in this arena. He must have dealt with a lot of fishy things at his old schools, but here all the blood feuds are released. In this school, everyone is equal, and they fight to settle bad blood between them. There are only a couple of rules. First off, only students can have access. They don't want uncles to beat up kids. If he wants that kind of fight, he should go to Epstein's Island. And they can't even enter the arena once they drop out, get kicked off, or graduate from the school. The matches are one-on-one. No weapons, except in special circumstances. And a high school marshal serves as the referee. They determine the start and end of the battle. A man walks up to him, wondering where he has been all this time. Gilsoo remembers seeing him. He's the guy whose shirt he's stained with grape juice. The guy smirks, telling Gilsoo to have a round instead of paying him the cleaning fee. Jang also encourages him to run the fade in the ring. That's the fourth rule. Violence is forbidden in any area except for the arena. All bad blood will be settled in the ring alone. And that's one of the most important rules, so he shouldn't be scared and enjoy. Gilsoo looks at everyone cheering for him. Even the referee is telling the guy to get ready. The guy looks like he bench presses 200 He looks like he does core exercises for fun. And for Gilsoo, who has been a sandbag for 3 years at his school, his guts are pleading with him to run away, but he still hangs around. He's not going to run away today because his balls of steel won't let him. Everyone is cheering for Gilsoo to fight. He steps into the ring, barely knowing how to throw a punch. Everyone wants to see how he does, since he has been paired with the indisputable king of the first years, Kang. He has the physique of an athlete, and he is the younger brother of Elder Kang. Kang started high school the same year as Gilsoo, and Kang wonders why he is standing around there. Does he want a formal invitation to step towards him? If he is not going to attack first, then Kang is going to take the chance. Gilsoo is so scared, he can't stay on his feet. He is trembling, and in need of a new pair of pants. He curses the heavens for why he has to fight. Kang rushes towards him, yelling that he'll come his way. As he zooms towards Gilsoo, fist clenched, eyes sparkling with desire, Gilsoo is shivering until he does something so embarrassing that he won't be able to live it up. Just as lizards have a defense mechanism to shoot blood out of their eyes to ward off predators, our boy, to everyone's surprise, projectile vomits onto Kang. The crowd is so stunned that no one even moves. Even Kang did not expect this. He is covered in vomit, and the wimp is lying at his feet. He looks at the gross contents and yells for them to stop the fight. The crowd goes violent. They love it that Gilsoo has his own finishing move, Vomit Blast. Kang angrily asks for a towel. Gilsoo is so embarrassed that he can't even talk back. How is he supposed to hit someone twice his size, and he can't do it anymore? Later, everyone is talking about his vomit blast. Those who miss the fight will regret it for their entire lives. Gilsoo quietly hears them through the bathroom stall. He realizes that this is bad. He is in a world of trouble. Here, he thought that this was an ordinary school, but it was too good to be true. He remembers Jang telling him not to be scared and to enjoy himself. But how the hell is he supposed to enjoy himself when he is thrown into an arena with pillow punches, his entire personality? He'll just end up vomit blasting again. It's better if he avoids it, and it's good that violence is not permitted outside of the arena. Speaking of Jang, he is really doing his bloodline good by completing 1,000 push-ups with 2 students sitting on top of him. At this rate, he will either lose his hair and gain Saitama's power, or break his back. As soon as he completes 1,000 push-ups, he looks at Gilsoo, gawking at him. Gilsoo can't believe that this guy is a student. He looks like a guy who has worked at a construction site for 30 years. Jang wonders what he has to tell him. He stutters and wants to talk about the arena. Jang laughs. Did he come up with a new move? Something even better than vomit blasting? Everyone is a big fan of him, cheering him for vomit blasts. He nervously says that he doesn't want to go to the arena anymore. Silence falls over the glass. Everyone looks at him in stunned silence. It's not as disappointing as when he revealed his signature move, but it's still world-shaking. Jang politely wonders why. He didn't even get injured yesterday. Why is he throwing a hissy fit? Gilsoo nervously says that though he wasn't injured, he can't fight anyone. He doesn't want to hit people because he doesn't enjoy it. He smiles. He doesn't understand the school arena system, so he won't be there. Jang politely grabs his ear. He can't believe that this bastard pulled a Gohan lifestyle excuse on him. Jang tells him that this sounds like he's giving everyone permission to beat him up. Gilsoo doesn't understand, but Jang announces that as president of the school, he declares that Gilsoo is no longer under the protection of the arena. Anyone who wants to beat him up can have a go at it. Later, as class ends, he realizes that things have turned south. He wonders what protection of the arena meant, and this poor boy is about to find out the hard way. A voice calls out to him. It's good that he's in this class. He won't have to find him anywhere else. Gangarized with 2 delinquents falling behind. Instead of putting on the kind-hearted, forgiving act, he bashes Gilsoo's head on the table. He tells Gilsoo that this is what it means to lose protection. He needed a slave for his everyday task, and it looks like Gilsoo is perfect for the position. Poor Gilsoo doesn't even realize that he has got a job offer before graduating. He is now this bully's slave, and his personal punching bag. The gang takes him outside and throws him against the lockers. They've heard that he was transferred here because he was bullied at his last school. Gang leans closer. It would be a shame to deprive him of his lifestyle. He tells Gilsoo not to feel so bad. He should just identify as a victim from here on out. Between every class break, they will meet, and he'll get a knuckle sandwich free of charge. Gilsoo finally realizes what it means to lose protection of the arena. Here at this school, they can either run the fade on friendly terms once a night, or get beaten up for the entire day. He's continuously beaten while everyone goes about their day. At the faculty office, he tries to drop out. The faculty tells him that it's only been a week. Maybe he needs more time to adjust. But our boy tells him that he needs more time to prepare for his test, which is very important. While in reality, he just wants to keep what little pride he has, and hide in a hole and die. He imagines his parents being disappointed, and he wants to apologize for being a terrible son. He steps outside and walks home. His heart is heavy. His life will be normal starting tomorrow. Jang looks at him walking away, wondering why he doesn't fight. What's his problem? Is he low on testosterone, or doesn't he have any balls? He apologizes because he can't fight. He never understood why fighting is fun. He's been traumatized by violence, and was bullied at his last school, and now he can't even stand up for himself, so he's giving up. He's tried everything. Jang grabs his shoulder and tells him that he is a bigger loser than he thought. The boy wonders why. He towers over Jang and tells him that no one expects him to break out pro-level moves. There's no fanciness to the arena. What he needs to do is fight. He doesn't even need to prove himself. He just needs to protect himself. With tears in his eyes, he wonders why he is bringing that up. But Jang yells that there will be no violence-free place in the entire world. He'll be a loser for the rest of his life. A pushover. While on his way back, he curses Jang because he has never been a weakling like him. All he can do is keep his head down and avoid trouble. Well, it looks like trouble has a way of finding him as Kang and his buddies are waiting for him. Kang smiles and wonders why he is dropping out without telling them. Here, he thought that they were buddies. Where will he find another slave and punching bag? Because of the arena, he can't bully anymore. He will never give up on this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. He welcomes Jang to try to resist. Later, Jang is beaten into the night. He is beaten continuously for hours, and Kang enjoys the show. Kang tells him that his brother would have killed him if he were still in high school. He then asks if they've got the address right. He smiles, looking at Jang's fancy home. It turns out that this freak has Jang's address on speed dial. Whenever he wants to vent his anger, he'll hit him up, and then actually hit him up. Jang cries. If he's so frustrated, he should get a girlfriend. But why is he getting his address? Kang grins. It looks like he's a little slow, and they should take a picture to commemorate this event. He scratches Jang's cheeks, and Jang wonders when it'll all be over. When he is able to get out of the pit of hell, he feels numerous arms dragging him down into the pit, each one belonging to a bully. He remembers Jang's words. No one accepts him to fight like a pro. He doesn't need to bust out fancy moves. He just needs to punch. If he can't, he should bite. If he's weak, he needs to fight with his guts. Those words resonate with him deeply, and he yells at the top of his lungs. For the first time in his life, he's had enough. They wonder if he's going berserk, or if he's just swelling his pants. All of a sudden, the phone flies out of Kang's hand. He struggles violently, and Kang grabs his mouth, shutting him off. But this is the moment he's been waiting for. Gilsoo chomps on, and refuses to let go. After all, using this move, Goku beats Majin Buu. Why can't he do the same to a weak bully? If he's weak, he's going to fight with his balls. He chomps off so hard that Kang is forced to shake him off. He looks at his hand, bleeding heavily, and Gilsu wonders how it feels. Does it hurt? And if it does, then this is how he'll answer his questions from now on. If he's going to hell, he'll be taking all of them with him. Kang realizes that he's gone crazy, and maybe this miserable wimp wants to fight back. He tells both of his lackeys to go punch him, but Gilsu is ready. He doesn't bother playing it safe, and grabs a handful of sand and blinds them. No fancy moves here, just pure grit. Kang can't believe that he pulled out such a move, and he tells his lackeys to go after him as Gilsu bolts. He's not a fool. He's not going to fight him here. He needs to get back to the arena. The arena door creaks open, and Gilsu rushes in, yelling that he'll do it. He'll fight in the goddamn arena. Gilsu steps towards Jang, telling him that he'll do it. The whole crowd looks at him as if he's lost his mind, but he grits his teeth as Kang and his buddies arrive. Jang grins and looks like they have an interesting fight planned for today. The crowd grows wild as Kang faces the scrawny little coughing baby. One of the rookies wants to kick his butt, personally in the ring, but too bad the whole arena thing messed up their gig. His buddy tells him to watch it. They have Jang on their back, and they don't want to mess with that 200 pounds of pure muscle. They are forced to eat the L, just like Gilsu is forced to eat a punch right off the bat. He is then kicked mercilessly and beaten to a pulp. Kang really teases him, asking if he thought that he could take him on one-on-one. He punches his skull in again, calling him a loser, and wondering where he gets these ideas from. He kicks him again. Is he regretting his life choices? That he should have stayed on the streets? Gilsu grits his teeth in frustration, calling him a piece of fish. Kang can't stomach that this weakling is looking at him with defiance. He tries to slap the defiance out of him, just like my mom slaps the defiance out of me when I even talk back. They continuously slap him. He wonders if Gilsu thinks that this is a comic, and he'll turn things around with some power of friendship. Kind of bullfish. Gilsu goes down like a sack of potatoes, and everyone looks at him, wondering if he is still breathing. Even Kang is forced to wonder if he is going too far. He really hopes that he doesn't kill him. Surprisingly, the wimp gets back up. That punch should have been enough to knock him out cold. He walks towards Gilsu, telling him not to push it. He might actually get himself killed. Gilsu gets up, wondering if he would really die from a measly kick like that. His eyes burn with fury and rage, and he rushes towards Kang, tackling him and throwing him off balance. His kicks are nothing compared to the bullies he faced in his school. With Kang going down and Gilsu over him, everyone smirks that Vomit Boy is really holding his own. Kang wasn't expecting him to get up. He shouldn't have let his guard down, and curses as Gilsu goes on the offensive. But before he can get a single punch in, Kang punches the snot out of him, laughing that he would never be able to hit him with such slow punches. Gilsu takes it personally. Screw the punches. If the punches won't work, he'll use his head, quite literally, as our boy starts headbutting him over and over again, giving him a free nose job. Kang goes wild. They didn't expect Vomit Boy to actually land some nasty blows. Jang looks at him in surprise. He knows that Gilsu isn't feeling anything because of his adrenaline rush. But once that wears off, he is going to feel like a truck full of bricks hit him. But right now, Gilsu looks alive. He looks like he can really handle some pain. And with his background, no wonder. Kang manages to kick him away, and Gilsu goes down. Kang curses his luck for being put up against an injured lion. He wants to kill that jerk, but the look in his eyes suggests otherwise. Today, only Gilsu will be doing the killing. Gilsu wonders if this is really it. All of these bullies used to terrify him all his life, but right now Kang feels vulnerable. He looks like he can actually bleed like a human. And is this the doing of the arena? The crowd roars his name over and over again, and this is annoying. He feels so angry at himself for not fighting back all those years ago. He rushes forward, clenched fists, cries of desperation erupting from his lungs. Was he scared of jerks like these who could be beaten easily? But our boy's monologue is cut short by a punch to the face. He can't believe that his winning streak is over, and Kang tells him that it's too bad. He is not going to take him by surprise anymore. Kang wins the match, but he has lost the war. Later, Gilsu regains consciousness and looks around, wondering if he passed out. It looks like it worked. He didn't expect to beat him anyway, but it looks like he got a few solid hits in. He looks at the ceiling. If only he had been more composed, he wouldn't have lost so quickly. Even though our boy lost, he has gained something immeasurable, a spine and a pair of balls. He clenches his fists, cursing himself to be stronger. Jang looks at his dilemma and wonders what happened. As the student president, it's his job to look after the kids who are knocked out. This arena is not a place for children to get buried. It's an arena to protect them. Gilsu looks away. Jang wonders if it's his last day. Tomorrow, he won't be allowed here since he doesn't attend the high school. As he leaves, Gilsu quietly wonders what he will have to do. Jang turns around and says that he won't drop out of school. So Gilsu asks Jang to teach him his ways, and to help him be stronger. This is the time he's been waiting for. Training the weak happens to be the student president's job as well. He laughs and asks him if he is ready, and initiates him with a liver punch. The pain is so much that it feels as if Gilsu is giving birth. He collapses, and Jang wonders how he feels. Does he feel as if he might die? And if that's so, then he should get started. Once they are done, he'll be able to withstand that punch. It all started when a slipper accidentally flew his way, and someone apologized, asking him if he was okay, and he nervously said that he was all right. That was when he was a first-year student in middle school. The other kids took it as a sign of weakness. They started bullying him more and more every day. One little bastard even demanded 100,000 yen a week. This little bastard is demanding money, as if our boy pimped his mom last night. That little slipper exposed that he was a weakling, and gave everyone a chance to beat him up senseless. They learned that he could not even talk back to them, and they started beating the stuffing out of him, and even raising the amount to 200,000 yen, even though our boy did not even touch their moms. After being beaten senseless, he became a weakling, a spineless bastard who could not even talk back. But that is all in the past. Our boy has decided that he will let his balls drop, and he wants to become stronger. He does not want to be that guy anymore. Jank smiles. This is the time he has been waiting for. Training the weak is his job as well, and as initiation, the liver punch opens a doorway of possibilities, because that is not a punch, that is a promise that Gilsu will be able to withstand this punch. Even though it hurts badly, Gilsu still gets up and returns to school. His liver is sore, and he feels as if something broke. Our boy does not know that his losing streak is about to break. Jank has instructed him to come back after class, and they will become stronger together. All he has to do is show up. A voice calls out to him. Jank arrives asking why he is at school. Was he not supposed to drop out? Our boy tells Jank that he will not be dropping out anytime soon, and Jank loves it. It looks like he really liked the arena, or he has grown more balls than he thought. Another voice calls out to him. It is Kang and his buddy. Kang smirks, calling him a sad bag. Kang did not expect him to be back at school. Is he here to plan revenge or something? He leans closer, telling Gilsu not to get a big head. Next time, he might actually die. He turns to leave with his gang of delinquents, and Jin looks at Gilsu, who is gritting his teeth and is 2 seconds away from a crash out. This did not shake him in the least. It actually confirmed what he wants to do. He will not let jerks like that boss him around anymore. Later, he is beaten black and blue again, but this time out of love instead of hatred. Jank is personally training him, telling him to use his eyes and not be frightened to throw a punch. He needs to follow with his eyes. He will not let Gilsu step into the ring until their training is over. Gilsu looks at his fist. This is ridiculous. Why the hell is his training so brutal? Is this why Gohan left training after his fight with Bu and Cell? For the next several days, the training is more of a one-way slugfest. Jank takes out his frustrations by beating him every day. If anything, this is only supposed to teach our boy how to take a punch. Jank, on the other hand, is busy having his own version of fun at the arena by almost killing his opponent and having the referee step in. Everyone comments that he is rather ruthless after his fight with Gilsu. It must have hurt his little male ego, and that headbutt changed the outcome. It looks like he is weak to headbutts, and one of them teases that it looks like Vomit Blast is also his weakness. The gang comes up to one of the kids and tells him to come see it for himself. The guy immediately backstabs, apologizing that it is only a joke. Gang curses. It is all because of the loser that everyone is talking about him. He then wonders if Gilsu is around. He is itching for a rematch, but Gilsu has not been to the arena for a while. They are not sure if he will be coming back to the arena, and why is it different than refusing to come to the arena? How come he still gets its protection? They realize the reason. Jank did not issue the warning that he was outside of the arena's protection, but he has a new plan, a way to beat the hell out of all those annoying losers. Later, our boy is running laps around the football field. That day he is beaten by Jank, his personal punching bag, and now he is running. But this is still not enough to beat Gank. He wants to get stronger, faster. If only there were a magical superhero, he would let him eat his hair. Someone slams a motorcycle into him and drifts away. He wonders what the hell. One of them yells that he scratched his ride and he needs to apologize. His favorite ride is busted because of him, and it will cost 5 million yen to fix it. He wonders what the hell, how is he coming up with this amount for that rusty bucket on wheels? And besides, he ran into him. The man does not like his backbone and calls him a loser nerd. It looks like he will be eating pudding for the rest of his life. He punches Jank, and he falls like a sack of potatoes. They wonder if he is made of paper or something, a real weakling. He continues to provoke Gilsu over and over again, and Gilsu wonders why he does not feel scared at all. The guy is asking him to pay for repairs or bring him all the money he can find. Compared to Jank and his fist of love, these guys' punches might be surrounded by pillows. He has been beaten by a monster all day long, and these guys are just tofu. He grabs the body and punches the living lights out of him, wondering why he should hand over his money. He is not going to wet his pants anymore. What our boy does not know is that this move is not going to work every time, since his punch left the guy unfazed. With his fist still acquainted with the bully's face, he wonders why the hell he should hand over his money. He's not going to wet his pants anymore. Our poor guy doesn't know that he still has the physique of a stick figure. The bully grabs his wrist and asks if he really calls that a punch. Dalsu starts sweating. Will his wrist shatter just like his newfound confidence? Because that punch didn't hurt him at all? He screams in pain, and the others look at him in surprise. Our boy starts throwing a hissy fit. He is either trying to show them his new dance moves or trying to unleash a barrage of punches. He wonders what he should do now. Jang didn't teach him how to hit people. All he knows is how to take a few blows. The guy smirks and kicks him across the face. Looks like flailing is everything he does. Maybe his spirit Pokemon is Magikarp. Everyone calls him a loser and grabs him. The guy even whips out his lucky knuckle dusters. He's sure that Gilsu will realize his mistake once he's beaten up nicely. They need to show him his place. He tells Gilsu to bite down, or he'll lose his teeth. He doesn't want to throw in a free smile makeover along with the nose job he's going to give Gilsu. Just when he's about to be beaten black and blue, a mysterious figure soars through the air, landing heroically on the bully's face. The others watch a stream of blood flow from the bully's nose. Gilsu can't believe what he's seeing. It's Jin. Why is Jin here? Jin just smiles. The others wonder where the hell this punk came from. One of them tries to swing at Jin, but Jin just steps aside and punches the living snot out of that bastard. The last one grabs a broomstick as long as he is. Maybe this guy is compensating for something that's really small. He is also whacked in the head and loses a couple of molars. The baddie beside him looks at his fallen body in horror. Gilsu can't believe that he really has a big strong man saving him. He always thought that Jin was an average guy, but how is he that strong? The girl rushes forward, ready to throw punches. She yells that they are the first-year gang at Jin Sang Tech, and she's going to tell their seniors that they screwed with him. A voice tells them that's enough. There's no point since they won't be able to help them. They need to look at that uniform. They're from YMG High. The punk yells that he knew something was strange about that bastard, just like all of them have a screw loose. He knows he shouldn't have messed with him if he knew he was from YMG. He hops on his bike and rides away with his tail between his legs. Our guy looks at them in a daze. Jin wonders how he got into trouble with them. He's more baffled to learn that Jeng has been giving him personal training sessions, and it looks like he must be really serious about the arena because training alone is not enough. Jilsu says that he's been working on his stamina since getting punched is all he can do. Well, that and vomit blast. Jin just smiles. He only got there when he saw Gilsu swinging his fists like a tornado. It was brave of him to fight back, but he can't handle several people at once. If Jin hadn't arrived, things would have gotten bad. Jin then gives him a little lesson about punching. He also tells Gilsu that he wishes he could get private lessons from Jeng as well. This surprises him. The boy explains that he refused to go through the arena, so he can see why Jeng wants to acclimate him to YMG High. After all, their schools have a rapport. Gilsu realizes that they're really a cult at this point. Even gangsters think twice before messing with them. He asks Jin why the others ran away once they knew which school they were from. Jin explains that their school is really famous around these parts. After all, it has a huge legacy. Anyone with a good pair of fists wanted to go to YMG. It was a wild jungle, and students who couldn't fight were prey. Gilsu can't believe they're talking about the same school. Jin explains that it's all thanks to Jang. He took over the lawless school and created an arena with rules. The school became much better, and everyone got to throw hands in a safe environment. He really corporately channeled everyone's inner beast. And that's why their school has a hell of a reputation. Jin darkly says that some people want things to go back to the old ways. Speaking of those people, a boy in the arena pleads for surrender. Kang's blonde delinquent buddy asks if that's the best he can do. He then turns to a nerd and asks him to be next. The boy wonders why. Blondie says there's no reason, he just doesn't like the way he looks, or is he refusing his challenge? Aaron notices that Blondie is a little too excited. He's hitting harder than usual. Kang smirks. He wonders if they've finally gotten the message that this arena is not a safe place. This isn't a reading club for four-eyed nerds. With a single punch, the poor boy loses his jaw, but the bastard keeps beating him, relishing the taste of blood. Kang arrives and tells Blondie to step out. It's his turn. Everyone wonders who he'll be fighting. The first boy who opens his mouth is chosen as the challenger. He needs to get in. The boy wonders why, since they've never talked to each other. Kang steps toward him and says there's no special reason. He just wants to settle beef. Or is he refusing to fight in the arena just like Gilsu? Jang arrives and looks at Kang acting like a top dog. He asks what's going on. Kang whispers that he's just here to fight, but no one is accepting his challenge. Earlier, the loser group was talking about a way to break rules without breaking them. A loophole to get rid of the arena. Kang's brilliant idea is related to what Gilsu did. He is the first loser to refuse to participate in the arena, and anyone can fight in the arena as long as they are healthy enough to fight. They love to boast about how everyone is equal, but once they step into the arena, is that really true? There are a lot of guys who just love running the fade, and some of them just love looking at fights without participating yet. The arena is not for wimps. The others realize that he has a point, but how exactly will it help them break the rule? Kang explains that Gilsoo was foolish enough to expose a loophole. What happens if they start having beef with losers hiding behind rules? Blondie gets it. It means they will have to fight, or they will end up like Gilsoo. The guy smirks. That's it. This arena will be their own penthouse. They'll turn it into a brothel to clap nerd cheeks. Presently, Kang wonders if there's a problem. Gilsoo doesn't like it, and pats his shoulder, telling him not to push his luck. Kang apologizes and promises to be careful next time, but his tone suggests otherwise. Later, our boy is getting lessons from Jang, and it's less of lessons and more like ass beatings. Maybe this is the type of teaching my father did all my life. Maybe he was trying to teach me how to survive in the arena. Either that or he had a drinking problem. Surprisingly, our boy manages to block one of the blows. He's not as scared as he should be, and Jang smiles. It looks like he's getting used to his fists. Our boy even has the balls to fight back and swing. After all, he can't win a fight by tanking hits. He needs to clap back. He unleashes his second signature move, Pillow Punches of Doom. Looking at these punches is enough to piss off Jang, and he tells him to shut the hell up. He's not in a shonen anime where yelling will make him stronger. It makes him sound like a wimp. Gilsoo clutches his side and bars. It looks like Jang hit him harder than normal. Jang then tells Gilsoo that he needs to use 1 or 2. He can win any fight if he uses a 1-2 combo, and he'll be glad to demonstrate it over and over again. Later, they arrive at an arcade club. They get in and a bald guy is waiting for them. Gilsoo starts panicking. Is this bald guy Johnny Sins, and will he take on his training session? Turns out this is just a punch machine. Jang tells him to raise his fist in a chin, and tuck his chin in. Raise his feet shoulder wide and take a few light steps. They should jab lightly with one hand. As he continues to demonstrate the basics of a punch, he lands a punch. The incredible punch sounded like gunfire, and Gilsoo wonders if he'll be able to do it as well. He tries to mimic what Jang did and manages to deliver a powerful punch, or so it seems. He didn't even get any real points. That punch was so weak the machine took offense. Jang shows him again. He explains that the machine broke down years ago, and it needs a real good hit to make a point. But if he wants to hurt his opponent, he'll need to be strong enough to score points on this machine. He needs to find a form that works best for him, and he doesn't want to see his face until he can reach that score. Later, Bushy Brows talking to his girlfriend. His girlfriend broke up with him, and he wonders if it's really because of his pushy eyebrows. He accidentally bumps into someone, and it's Blondie who grabs him and tips him. His phone falls and cracks and Blondie smiles. He looks like he didn't see him there. Pushy Brows asks Blondie if he did it on purpose. Blondie comes up with the excuse that they can settle it later at the arena, and Bushy Brows not too keen. He looks away saying that it's his fault, and he didn't see it. Blondie also reveals that this is not school violence. They just bumped into each other, and he should watch where he's going from now on. Blondie then wonders what the hell his problem is. Does he have something stuck down there? Maybe they should report to the school marshal. Bushy Brows tell him to forget it. It will only end up in trouble. Things are turning dark as they are exploiting loopholes in the arena system. Our boy is scarfing down everything on his plate. He's so hungry because he's never been punched every day. He's also hit the machine a couple of times but has failed to score. A voice tells him to watch out. Blondie arrives and accidentally splatters the food tray on him. He apologizes and pats him so hard that his ribs crack. He's continuously patting him under the guise of catching up. The others smile. One of them praises Blondie for running into Gilsoo and provoking him so that he gets into the arena. Then they will teach him what it means to face real men. Blondie smirks and tells them to wait. He remembers how Gilsoo stood up and grabbed his hand, and Gilsoo didn't know what he needed to do. He remembers that he's not allowed into the arena until his session is over, but he has no choice. He's been training really hard. A voice tells him who the hell is being so loud. It was a mysterious savior who splattered the tray on Blondie just like he did with Gilsoo. Jin arrives and calls him a piece of trash. Jin has arrived and uses Blondie's trick on him. Having a taste of his medicine is enough to get him to crash out, promising to kill Jin. Jin laughs. This doesn't count as cold violence now, does it? The tree simply slipped out of his hands. He also leans closer. It doesn't matter because he wants to fight him anyway, and they will have a little dance in the arena tonight. He's going to teach him a few new moves. Later, Jin is washing his hands and Gilsoo apologizes for getting him into trouble. Jin just laughs. He's not doing it for him. He's been after the gang for a while. He's going to teach them a lesson because he's sick and tired of them ruining his lovely arena. Gilsoo wonders what they do. He explains that he hasn't been to the arena for a while. Those bastards are calling weak guys and beating them up on purpose, making up imaginary beef to fight them. When their targets try to back off, they bring up what happened when Gilsoo backed off and refused to fight in the arena. They have a new excuse to pick fights with anyone they want, and he is not going to let them ruin the arena. Gilsoo sits next to Jin, wondering why the arena is so open to him. He's strong, so it doesn't matter whether he gets to be in the arena or not. Jin reveals that he has gone through a rough patch just like him. He remembers the days when he was bullied, when he was called Piggy, when his bullies gave him a pissing bottle to drink. He remembers being a fatty and someone drawing a brow on him. He was fat and timid as a kid, and he was bullied throughout middle school. The bully clenched his jaw and tried to force-feed him the bottle of piss, and at that time, he thought that it would be better off being dead. Until one day, a muscular man arrived, telling them to play nice with each other, that someone saved him. The fatty came up to the man asking him why he saved him, and that man wondered if he would try diet boxing. It's a weight loss program for everyone. The man who saved him turned out to be a boxing coach running a gym nearby. That's how his life changed. He got into boxing and did core exercises until his stomach was nowhere to be seen. Threw punches until his arms screamed in pain and jumped rope until he was a 10x10 stud. That boxing really transformed him, and his weight disappeared like my dad disappeared when he went out to get milk. Jin remembers the day he finally got his payback, beating the sap out of his bullies. After his transformation, no one would mess with him anymore. When he got to fight those arrogant bastards, he realized that they weren't strong. Gilsu can't believe that this pile of muscle used to be a nerd. Jin just grins. He admits that Jang's rules are really extreme, but they give everyone a chance to fight without the fear of getting mobbed. That's why he wants to keep the arena going. It gives everyone a chance to feel. Later, he faces Blondie in the arena, and Blondie is too busy trash-talking. Even though he has a $20 wolf cut and a $5 dragon tattoo, Jin smiles, wondering if they're here to run their mouths or run their fists. He's getting tired of his yapping. If he were a mutt, he would be a chihuahua. Blondie tells him that he's got guts. The crowd tells them to be ready, and they get ready to fight. They zoom towards each other, throwing a punch, and each one dodges the other. Jin gets the upper hand, throwing jabs and managing to draw blood. Blondie wonders if he has a boxing background because of his movements. He unleashes another flurry of charges, but it's no use. Jin's speed is explosive, his punches back power. Blondie decides to go for a liver punch, but Jin intercepts it with a punch of his own, beating the lights out of this trashy version of Justin Bieber. Before falling, he realizes that Jin used a feint, and Gilsu feels really good. He looks at Jin, and everyone praises him. It's the end of Blondie's undefeated streak. Blondie tries to put up a fight again, and Jin is enjoying himself. His punches don't land, and Jin is the only one who is doing the punching. Blondie refuses to back down because of his pride, but he's in no shape to continue. He looks at Kang, and Kang looks down on him. He tells Jin that he really is the better boxer, so he'll start fighting seriously. He raises his leg. Jin wonders what fighting style this is. Since when did boxing include spreading legs? Did he take classes from Mia Khalifa? He raises his legs and tells him to try it now. He tells Jin that he will be fighting seriously from now on. Everyone starts murmuring, looking at that stance. It turns out he is ready to turn this battle into a death match. He tells Jin to bring it on. Looking at that stance, Jin wonders if he is going to use more kicks, but it looks like he is going to use Muay Thai, one of the deadliest fighting styles. He tells Blondie that he can kick too, but that kick is intercepted with shins of steel. He realizes that his guard is rock solid, and he quickly leaps back. He tries to create distance between them, but Blondie rushes in, closing the distance and swinging his leg to deliver a devastating kick. He knew that he was going to use his legs, and he tried to block them with his arms. Too bad. As a practitioner of Muay Thai, it's as if Jin is being kicked by a steel rod. He is sent flying. He can't believe that this guy delivered so much power with a single kick. That was too powerful to block. His second kick shatters Jin's bones. Jilsu cries out to Jin to throw the towel, but Blondie hasn't had his fill. He wonders why Jilsu is panicking, and he also wonders why Jin is backing away. Is he scared? Jin realizes that he throws weak punches, but his kicks are too powerful. As Blondie zooms towards him, Jilsu wonders if he is going to deliver another kick. He closes his eyes and receives a barrage of punches. Blondie starts laughing. It looks like he can't block his punches anymore. He can't even focus because he has to watch out for the kicks. Blondie laughs. If he really wants him to ruin the arena, he should just say so. If he wants to stop him, he can try. Another kick sends Jin to his knees. Blondie tells Jin that no weakling is allowed to tell him what to do. He tells Jin that this is goodbye and nights out for him. He hopes that Jin has a good rest. Jin closes his eyes and a voice tells him that's enough. The school marshal has intervened, blocking that kick with his own, as if it were a pillow. He tells Blondie that his opponent is unable to fight. Any more attacks will be counted as foul play. This is the head school marshal, third-year student Hyo. Blondie complains that he was just getting started. It's been a while, but he had fun. He's also started seeing faces he hasn't seen before. He turns to Gilsu, grinning. The arena will be more lively now that he's here. Later, Gilsu helps Jin walk home, asking if it hurts. This brain-dead wimp doesn't know that it's supposed to hurt. The fact that Jin lost makes him feel much worse. In the end, he only made the bully seem stronger. Jin tells Gilsu that he feels horrible, and Gilsu comforts him that at least he got to win at the start of the battle. Jin didn't realize that his shins were so rock solid. He remembers what he faced today. He thanks Gilsu for getting him home. offering him a glass of water in return. But Gilsu runs away in a hurry. Jin wonders what's up. Does he need to use the bathroom after what he saw? Jin quickly runs away. In class 3, someone gifts someone a new pair of kicks. The recipient tells him he didn't need something like that, but Mr. Suck It Up says that this is just to show his appreciation. Kang has just received a new pair of kicks. It's protection money, under the guise of not fighting them in the arena. Blondie has also arrived, and everyone is looking for Gilsu. It's time for them to beat him up, but Kang has still more news for Blondie. His match with Jin has shaken up things. Later, Kang is striding in style. He has just proved their strength by beating Jin. Now even basic fighters are scared of them. They will bring down their reputation by beating up wimps like Gilsu. Now they need to go for bigger fish. Maybe they should even have flyers distributed to join their gang. But Kang tells them that they are the top dogs. They will do as they please. Later, they come up to a bunch of fighters. They are third-year students. One of them is Sun. All of the others nervously say that it's nice to meet them. They are here to discuss something. Sun tells them that they have nothing to discuss with first-year kids. They should go play with balls or something. Kang knows that they all look at them as chicklings, but his brother was famous at this school. Sun wonders who his brother is. He wonders if he was ever beaten by Jang, and he hides like an old man in retirement. That is enough to rile Sun up. He grabs Kang by the throat, ready to choke him and give him a good time. Before he can get punched, Kang says that he had to fight alone at the time, but not anymore. Times have changed, and they have found new loopholes to help him. Later, the marshal tells Jang that things are turning south, and the arena is on the verge of collapse. They can't keep turning a blind eye to the first years, and they must know who Kang's brother is. They can't change the rules just because someone is abusing them. He needs to intervene and sort things out, or else the arena will never stay the same. His phone starts ringing, and it is Jang. At the arcade club, Gilsu is lying there. Jang wonders if he is ready to give up if he hasn't scored, but Jang smiles. The punching machine is covered in blood that belongs to Gilsu, and he has finally scored. Jang can't believe it, and Gilsu is ready for his next training session. Gilsu runs away as if he owed child support to Jin. Jin wonders why he is in a hurry. He continues to run away because he needs to work harder than ever. He remembers Blonde's disgusting grinning face. It makes him go faster. He needs to get stronger as soon as possible to teach that son of a gun a lesson. When he is back, he continues beating the stuffing out of the punching machine. He has no talent, no skills, no cyan genes. All he can do is make it up with effort. His punches are weak, but if he uses a million punches, they are bound to do some damage. He remembers Jang's words. He needs to put a dent in this machine. He spreads his legs. He doesn't have the body weight or muscles to pull it off. But maybe if he's stressed, he can spread them wider than Gilsu can. Then he can make a bigger swing and put more power into the punch. He swings it with everything he's got, and for the first time, the machine shows a change. He scores 3 points, even though the points are low, but it shows that he can actually pull it off. He continues to beat the machine over and over again. The points rank up 100, 200, 1000. He continues until his knuckles are bleeding, until the score shows 9,999. High score. For the first time in his life, the loser has actually achieved a goal. Bruised, battered, and not unbroken. He looks at Jang, waiting for his validation, waiting for what comes next. He gets up and walks up to Jang, and Gilsu tells him that that's good. It's time for their next part of training. It will be tougher than anything he's ever done. Poor Gilsu collapses on top of Jang and snores. Jang smiles proudly. After all, recovery is also part of the training. Blondie, on the other hand, is at the arena again, waiting for anyone to come up to him. Or are they too scared to step into their precious arena? Someone steps in. Finally, it's a burly-looking guy who wants to teach this first-year hotshot a lesson of humility. This is Choi, second-year student marshal. Looking at the student marshal is enough to make Blondie second-guess his life choices. Choi reasons that the dragon tattoo on his shoulder is pissing him off, and that's enough reason to throw hands. After all, he's been picking fights for silly reasons. Blondie is speechless, and the other student marshal looks at him with a gray face. He can't let them keep getting away with rule-breaking. All of a sudden, the doors open. Numerous footsteps are heard, and someone barks that it looks like second-year students are trying to fight first-year ones. It's time for the third-year ones to liven the place up with a little dance of their own. San has arrived with his gang behind him. He tells him that this is not a place for him to fight, but San wants to throw hands. He does belong to the school, and that is part of the rules. He grits his teeth in frustration, telling him to stop with the bullfish. San is not going to take no for an answer, and tells the head marshal to have some fun. He doesn't have to be uptight all the time. The gang arrives saying that since there are a few people here in the arena, they might as well have a friendly round, or be easily scared. Later, Gilsu follows Jang to a deserted construction site, wondering why they are here. Are they going to train here or something? Jang says that something like that. This school belongs to one of the rival schools. They all fought for the title of the strongest school, and UIMG emerged victorious. Once they were the champions, other schools backed down. Now this one is Tech School's turf, and he is going to know what it feels like to have a field test. Gilsoo can't believe it, as the entire building rattles. Jang closes off the gate and tells Gilsoo that nothing beats real-world experience. He needs to get out of here on his own, without dying. Gilsoo cries for Jang to open the door, as numerous motorbikes stop behind him. He turns to see the same punks he faced that night when Jin saved him. The hired punk arrives and tells him that he has guts. Looks like he'll be tasting his brass knuckles after all. He grabs Gilsoo's head and is about to punch him, but Gilsoo is mumbling something. He wonders, what is it? Why is he mumbo-rapping when he is about to get his ass beat? Gilsoo throws a powerful jab and starts practicing his footwork mid-fight. He then lads under the devastating blow, and everyone gasps in surprise because Gilsoo has successfully drawn blood. Gilsoo smiles. It looks like his training has paid off. Joey's face resembles a swollen grapefruit, as he stutters and pleads for mercy. Sun doesn't have that on his menu today. He wishes that he had been to the arena before. If this was this fun, and aren't the student marshals supposed to be stronger? He overrides and tells him to fight someone his own size. He's pissing him off. One just smirks. They have a score to settle. But as the whole arena is deserted, maybe they should take it somewhere else. He realizes that the others are not here anymore. However, since this gorilla-faced son of a gun arrived, they are probably scared that they will be dragged into it. He curses Kang for ruining their sanctuary. He also wonders if this is why he brought along Sun. He smirks, telling Heo that maybe they should settle it somewhere else. There's no one in the arena anymore, so there's no reason to play by its rules. Heo grits his teeth in frustration as Sun teases him to run along and tell Jang that his precious arena is gone under, and he needs to fight outside. Gilsoo, on the other hand, is having the time of his life. He has mastered lefty-righty. The opponent goes good-nighty. He smirks as he draws blood. Another buffoon tries to rush towards Gilsoo, throwing a punch and telling him to taste hell. But that punch might as well have been a pillow. After what he's faced with Jang, these weak punches don't faze him anymore. He punches the moron so hard that he goes soaring through the air. Another spiky-haired bastard arrives, asking him who he thinks he is. He receives his punch and delivers one as well. The law of equal exchange, except that Gilsoo's punch hits harder and faster. Everyone wonders if this is the same guy they faced the other day. Shorty tells him that he is an annoying wimp and that he has no idea what he has gotten himself into. She smiles with contentment as others arrive behind her. Other punks arrive, promising to mince him up nicely. Gilsoo realizes that there are too many, and he can't win against so many. He needs to come up with something. He realizes that he needs to use his head, and not in the head but in your enemy kind of way. He grabs a heavy bike, and the bimbo yells at him to get off it. But he grits his teeth. He'll be riding off in style, but instead of making a heroic exit, the motorcycle goes out of control, and he is dragged behind it. Everyone laughs at him, but that's not his plan. He lets go of the bike, and it tears away for him to pass through. He zooms through the crowd and punches one of the bastards. As he sprints for dear life, everyone follows him. It's a deadly game of tag, and he wishes he could fight them one-on-one. He could beat them all then. He wishes that he were at the arena, but the light bulb in his mind goes off. He rushes into the building, and everyone follows. He stands on top of a staircase, and the students are forced to attack him single file. Our boy starts throwing punches, since he has the higher ground. He continues to beat the pudding out of them. Since the stairway is narrow, it forces them to come up one at a time, and he has the higher ground, so he can land punches. Drunk on confidence and adrenaline, he tells the punks to come up so he can beat them. A bowl of ramen slams into his head out of the blue, and someone drop kicks him down the stairway. Someone arrives and tells the others that he couldn't enjoy his food because of this punk. Gilsoo tries to get back, but the punk punches him again. Gilsoo realizes that he's a different breed from these other riffraffs. The master tells everyone to beat him up in 10 minutes and bring him. He turns to leave, looking at Gilsoo being beaten. But Gilsoo still has fight in him. He resists their blows, blocks them, and rushes towards the punk. He makes a break for it, and uses his head the way he usually does. In a devastating headbutt that sends the punk flying down the stairs, the punk is furious and yells at his lackeys to go grab him, even if they die. With the back-end exit in his view, he realizes that he's going to make it. Just then, his hopes are dashed as someone rides on a motorcycle behind him. That someone drifts in front of him in style, with lackey number 1 dragging behind him. The man smiles. It looks like his body is more triggering than he thought, and he can't believe that everyone lost to a wimp like him. The guy even calls him cute and gets off. Why is this punk being fruity all of a sudden? This guy even starts licking his lips and calls him cute, saying that he likes cute things. The ditty of this world has arrived. And honestly, put that tongue back in. Like what the fef? This is an I need an adult moment. Zesty-assed version of Zoro keeps calling her boy cute, promising to play with him nicely. Gilsu realizes that this dude is seriously bad news, since he drags around his fellow students using a motorcycle. What is wrong with this bastard? He also looks at the head punk and others arriving. The head punk calls out to Sanbei, apologizing for making a mess out of things. Sanbei just smiles, promising to give him some love when he is done with him. I am an adult, and this kid makes me want an adult. The head punk pleads with Sanbei not to give him any more love. They can handle this kid on their own, but something dangerous flickers inside of Sanbei. His whole demeanor is like a coiled cobra. He tells them to back off since Gilsu is his prey. Gilsu realizes that this is the leader of Tech University, and even though he is a short king, he is nowhere near as big as Gilsu. He might be able to take him over. Big mistake. He rushes forward towards Gilsu, trying to use the two-head combo that always works for him. He starts with a left jab, but Sanbei ducks out of the blue. He calls him cute again since he attacked first. He then grabs him by the legs and hoists him up. Gilsu gasps in surprise. He is really strong. Sanbei slams him on the ground, knocking the air out of his lungs, and then picks him up again. He is glad that he has more play left in him. This Oompa Loompa is a true freak. As he grabs Gilsu and slams him into the ground again, he continues to beat him up, and the others smile. Gilsu shouldn't have messed with Sanbei, but the head punk tells his buddy to shut the hell up. Once Sanbei is done with Gilsu, they are next. Sanbei keeps flickering his tongue. He is glad that he is not unconscious, and he wants him to struggle. More the resistance, more the fun. Gilsu has had enough of this freaky-ass fight. He stomps on his face and calls him shorty pants, and even calls him cute since he is shorter. This ticks him off, and Sanbei looks really dangerous. Headpunk whispers that this guy really has balls of steel. Sanbei is really insecure about his height, since he was bullied for being a shorty, and anyone who calls him cute ends up on death row. Sure enough, Sanbei grabs him and smiles, bringing him into a submission hold. Honestly, if he used that submission hold on me, he would end up losing a ball. Gilsu can't breathe because of the stinkiness of his groin. Sanbei smiles, calling him a cutie over and over again. This is the triangle choke. He also starts punching. Sanbei is relishing the battle, punching since he is unlike anyone he has ever fought. All of a sudden, Gilsu gets up and picks up the short king as if he were a picnic basket. He hasn't given up yet, and Sanbei tries to flip around, going for a chokehold and putting him into a somersault. Gilsu struggles to breathe, but the vessels in his eyes threaten to pop. He is trying to get him unconscious, and who knows what will happen to him if he loses consciousness. He doesn't want to be stuck in Diddy's playhouse because he has a feeling that this guy is seriously bad trouble. He keeps calling Gilsu cute, and finally Gilsu passes out. He drags Gilsu off to a shed, telling everyone to mind their own business. They are glad that they get to keep their cheeks unclapped. As this zesty dude drags off Gilsu, Gilsu regains consciousness because this is not his first rodeo. He has been playing the choking game since he was in middle school. They would choke him into the same hold and try to see how long he could stand it. He picked up a trick to slide his pinky in to prevent his carotid artery from being compressed. He grabs a rock and is ready to rock his world. He gets up and slams the rock into Seonbei's face. Seonbei is taken aback, and a blood fountain erupts from his nose. Gilsu makes a run for it. He needs to cross that gate to keep his dignity and V-card, but Seonbei is on his tail, calling him a cutie, and he loves it when they fight back. He rushes towards Gilsu, ready to grab him and teach him a new lesson, but a lion roars, telling them to stop. Everyone frees in, and it's Jang. They are glad that Jang is here. This dude just left a rookie fighter in Diddy's playhouse, and now has the balls to show his face again. He tells Seonbei that if he fights anymore, it will be a challenge against the whole high school. Since Gilsu has 1 foot outside the gate, he is now under his protection. Seonbei still itches for the fade. He tries to use his usual tactics on Jang, just to be punched in the face and lose in a single strike. Jang smiles and tells Gilsu that he is passed. He should meet him at the rooftop tomorrow for his final training. As soon as he enters the school, someone grabs him. Gilsu has had enough. He is drunk on his victory and tells Kang and his gang that he is going to beat the stuffing out of him. And that's how he never got to finish the last part of his training. Jin is being taunted for breaking his arm, or maybe he is pretending so he doesn't have to fight again. Blondie and the gang have surrounded him, telling him to say something or anything, or maybe he wants to be taught another lesson. Blondie shoves Jin, and something cracks. He stomps on his cast, and the others can only look at him helplessly. He keeps laughing and teasing Jin, and Jin yells that he is breaking the school rules. To Blondie, it doesn't matter that the arena is on the verge of shutting down. Just as he is about to punch Jin, someone rushes in and intercepts the blow with his arm, and that someone is our boy, Gilsu. Many things have changed while he was away from school, but he can't keep training and turning a blind eye to his friends. He tells Blondie, in the heat of the moment, to meet him at the arena after school, because it's time to prove himself. Blondie starts teasing him, calling him Vomit Boy, and looking at the bandages on his arms, wondering what happened while he was training. He now knows how to put a guard up. Gilsu swats his hand away and expresses his frustration. Is he going to run his mouth, or is he going to run the fade at the arena? Blondie continues to tease him and belittle him. He accepts the challenge, promising to see him after school. It's a date, and he'll see how different the arena is nowadays. After he leaves, Gilsu wonders if he has done the right thing. Jang is brooding on the roof. Either he's aura farming, or he's wondering if he can pull off being Batman. Sun arrives and yells at Jang, asking where he was last night. Sun arrived at the arena, and he made a fool out of all the faculty. Things are getting worse, and he needs to act. Jang decides to act all high and mysterious. If something like that brings down the arena, then maybe the arena doesn't need to exist. Sun wonders if his boss has lost his mind. Jang says that they all love the arena, but if he needs to keep control every time something goes wrong, then maybe the arena doesn't deserve to exist. The arena must change without his intervention, otherwise it will lose its purpose. The whole school is buzzing with the news that Gilsu has challenged Blondie to a fight. Everyone was acting all high and mighty until Gilsu arrived. Kang is listening to Blondie's account of what happened. He learns that Gilsu has bandages around his arms. It looks like he's been training, but it won't help him beat Blondie, who practices Muay Thai. Kang is against him beating Gilsu, since they don't have to target wimps anymore. Blondie still wants to run the fight. He'll break his arms so he doesn't fight back in the future. Kang reminds him to be careful. They worked hard to bring down the arena, and they're close to making it happen. He must win without ever giving him a chance. He shouldn't let his guard down, and he should especially look out for vomit blasts. He remembers Gilsu in his berserk phase. Even if he's weak, he's persistent like a cockroach. Meanwhile, Bushy Browns and Jin are scolding Gilsu for going into the arena. He doesn't know that Jin wasn't able to beat Blondie. Even Gilsu is second-guessing his life choices. Did he do the right thing, or is he going to get smoked? He remembers Jang and how he was supposed to get his last training session tonight, but now he'll have to put it on hold. Jin doubts that he'll be able to pull it off. Blondie and the rest of his gang are doing shady stuff around the school, and they're not sure what will happen to him if he loses. Gilsu tells Jin that he can't just sit idly while he is about to get hurt. He knows the feeling of being bullied while others spectate from the sidelines. No one ever intercepts the bullies, and he's going to fight until his bones break. He gets up and tells them that he wants to finish the fight he started in the cafeteria. He's not worried about how dangerous it's going to get because he's ready for it. Night falls, and the arena is packed with spectators. Students are pouring in from every direction, eager to see Gilsu hold his own against Blondie. Blondie wonders where that loser is. He smiles and wonders if he's chickened out. Even Jang is here, ready to see his student perform. Everyone starts cheering for Gilsu, but he doesn't pull up. They're wondering if he left. All of a sudden, Gilsu arrives. He's clipped off all his hair, and he's bald. Looks like he'll unlock the true secret to strength. Less hair means more strength, according to Saitama-sensei. Blondie starts laughing, wondering if that haircut is supposed to give him a power boost. Even the others are laughing, but Jang smiles. Gilsu gets into the ring and tells Blondie that he won't be smiling with that pretty mouth of his for long. Blondie loves his confidence and wonders where he's getting it from. He hopes he'll be this confident after he's beaten up, but Gilsu tells him to bring it on. Both fighters get ready and stand face to face. Gilsu is not the same wimp who entered this arena all those days ago. He's a completely different man, and he'll die trying to achieve his goal. Gilsu grits his teeth in anticipation. He is going to win this fight or die trying. He rushes towards Blondie, determined to die trying. He lets loose a jab, and Blondie wonders if he is really going to attack first, even though he is a wimp. He dodges the blow. It's so slow that he might as well mill him the punch. Blondie beats the stuffing out of Gilsu, promising to make him regret this challenge, and calling him a pathetic loser. He continues to beat the stuffing out of Gilsu over and over again, wondering what made him so confident. Did he hit a few sandbags at the gym and now thinks he is some hot fudge? This isn't enough. This is YMG High School. Gilsu realizes that Blondie is as tough as nails, tougher than the guys from Tech University. All he can do is hold his guard up and block the attacks, but blocking won't get him anywhere. He needs to act as well. He tries to unleash a wide range of punches, but Blondie just ducks, wondering what he is trying to do. His slow punches can't do anything. The crowd boos for Gilsu, telling him to get up and stop getting beaten up. He started out so strong. What happened? Even Hio looks at him in sadness. That's what he expected to happen from the start. And if this continues, the bullies will gain even more influence. Jang just smirks. His disciple isn't going to lose anytime soon. After all, he threw Gilsu into Diddy's paradise, and he came out alive. He tells Hio to take a good look and see how locked in he is. Blondie is enjoying the beating he is delivering, telling Gilsu that he was born to be a sandbag. But he notices something weird. All of a sudden, Gilsu lowers his guard. To Gilsu, the fight has only begun. He remembers apologizing to Jang for not being able to complete the last part of his training and going to the arena before his training was complete because he challenged someone. He grits his teeth apologizing, but Jang just tells him they'll modify the plan on the fly. Jang rushes towards Gilsu, fists clenched like a bulldozer rolling toward a puppy. This is a crash course to replace his final session. Gilsu looks at the hulking bulk of muscle. A sparring match between the student president and a wimp wasn't on his schedule. All he can do is block the blow, but he's still sent flying. What the hell is wrong with him? He wonders as Jang tells him not to stand around like an idiot and not to just take blows. He needs to give it everything he's got. Gilsu roars in defiance and unleashes a jab. He continues to push Jang. Jang notices that his punches are slow and weak, just like him. He won't land a punch anytime soon. Gilsu knows his own limitations. A few training sessions won't make up for a lifelong wimpy attitude, but he needs to win no matter what. With rage fueling his fists, he manages to land a blow against Jang, and Jang enjoys his determination, telling him to lose his guard. Jin and the others wonder if he's lost his mind or his will to fight. Things turn stranger when he starts flailing around, unleashing blind punches. It looks like he learned this move from a kindergartner, and Jin wonders why he's swinging like that. What's the point of training with a pro if he's going to fight like an amateur? Blondie enjoys his display, wondering if he really thinks he can land a hit like this. He punches Gilsu again so hard that shockwaves travel through the arena. He follows with another punch, but surprisingly, Gilsu wraps his arms around his opponent's waist, grabbing him in position. Blondie starts to panic, telling him to get away. He isn't homo. Everyone looks at Gilsu, wondering why he's so desperate. He's going to lose his fight and his dignity. Gilsu closes in until he's practically glued to Blondie. He even gets kneed in the face, but everything is going according to plan, even though he's getting the beating of a lifetime. That's exactly the attitude I have when I'm in the job market after my arts degree. Jang had told him to grab the body or the back of the neck, lower his guard, and use his arms to pin the opponent so he could land a powerful hit. And just like that, Jang led by example, punching his guts in and telling him that his barrage of punches would get him closer to the opponent. He needs to hang on, just like he did during the grueling training. When he gets the chance, he needs to punch with everything he's got. Realizing he can't keep his guard up forever, he decides to take the blow. When Jang's fist is inches away from his head, Jang stops. He tells Gilsu not to try to force a blow from the get-go. He needs to confuse his opponent and not let them know where it's coming from. Sure enough, Gilsu punches Blondie's liver. Blondie is infuriated, calling him a little trash bag. Gilsu follows with another blow, then another, then another. Everyone cheers. This is the type of dirty boxing they came to see. Gilsu's punches are landing, and he's so close to his opponent. Blondie creates distance between them. Gilsu is winded and breathless, but he knows Blondie's guard is lowered. He rushes in to close the distance, and Blondie yells that punching his face is idiotic, but that's not what he's going for. At the end of the training, Jang told him that once he's in the arena, he needs to forget everything he learned. He needs to improvise on the fly, because set rules don't apply. And that's exactly what he's doing right now. He grabs Blondie's head, pins him in place, and jabs the living lights out of him with everything he's got, calling him a bastard and telling him to die in a pit. Gilsu asks Blondie if he saw this coming too, before delivering a punch hard enough to let him see starlight during the daytime. Everyone looks at him in stunned silence. The wimp just delivered a decisive blow, and Blondie is lying on the ground getting acquainted with dust. Gilsu tells him that he's only getting started. Let the ass beating begin. The crowd goes wild, calling him a wild son of a gun, cheering his name, while Blondie is visibly shaken. He reasons that it was a random punch, and he doesn't need to think much about it. He lashes out at Gilsu, but Gilsu delivers another punch, followed by another. He goes for a 1-2 combo, over and over again. He can't believe that Gilsu is better than he seems. He's standing his ground and turning the fight around. Jang smiles. That's his star pupil. Now Gilsu has the upper hand. With grit and determination, he has Blondie on the floor. Jane, on the other hand, wonders why. There's something odd about Blondie today. Blondie notices Kang and his gang judging his life choices from afar. It's clear that he's not pleased. He remembers Kang reminding him to make it snappy and quick, since they've worked hard to bring down the arena, and they don't want the wimps to get hope or respawn. Though it's embarrassing, he'll have to use Muay Thai on this weak little jiggling thing. He promises not to let Gilsu flail his arms around again. Gilsu realizes that this is his kicking stance, and things are heating up. With no time to waste, Gilsu leaps forward. He has to finish it while he has control. Before he can make contact, a swift kick comes his way, bashing into his skull and sending him flying toward the railing. Gilsu can't believe a kick can be so powerful. It's like facing a mule. Blondie gets ready to kick him again, this time squarely in the abdomen. Another kick follows close behind, as Blondie calls him a loser for thinking he can win. He tells Gilsu to stop acting like he's hot stuff. The only thing Gilsu can think about is how those kicks are like cannonballs. They're tearing him apart. During the onslaught, he wonders what he should do. He remembers his conversation with Jin, and how he claimed he doesn't care if it's dangerous. He's ready for it. Jin reminded him that if he's going to win, then he has to be careful. Those kicks are in a league of their own. There's no way he can defend against them, and he needs to find an unbeatable shield. Gilsu huffs in exhaustion, grabbing his bruised arm. It feels as if this low-taper Justin Bieber wannabe is beating him with a steel bat. Something's wrong with those kicks. Blondie tells Gilsu that it's good he has fear written all over his face. That's just the kind of expression he was born to have. Another kick zooms toward him, and Gilsu manages to dodge it. He realizes that this trash of a man wants to see him humiliated. A strange aura burns around him as he imagines all of the bullies wearing the same expression, waiting to humiliate him the same way. These are all demons, and today he's going to exercise every last one of them. He's going to use his secret weapon to deal with those troublesome kicks. Gilsu suddenly kicks up and uses his bottom to block the kick. The crowd, even Blondie, didn't expect him to use a bum block. Jin can't believe he's taking it with his bottom, and Gilsu wants to yell that Blondie can go ahead and hit it from the back. He knows all the spots he can use to take a blow. Blondie laughs, wondering what the hell this is. It's ridiculous. He unleashes another devastating kick, but Gilsu uses his Jiat shield to block it. He continues to block with his bottom. The crowd goes wild, wondering what's up with that booty block. Those loud smacks are enough to crack them up. Does he even have a name for that move? Even Jin teases him, saying he's acting cheeky with that move. It might be silly, but it's the fattest part of the body, and it can take the most hits. They can't believe Gilsu just pulled out a new way to get his ass beaten and actually win. Blondie is breathless. Looks like his plan to tire him out is working. He goes for a clean sweep kick, ready to kick Gilsu's head off, but Gilsu dodges. The kick is slow enough for him to avoid, and it's getting to Blondie. Jin also notices that his opponent is slowing down. It feels like Blondie saves his powerful kicks, as if they have a cooldown timer. And does that power come at a risk? Blondie is sweating, while Gilsu is just getting started. Even though he won't be sitting for the next week, he's gaining the upper hand. As Blondie's foot soars in front of his face, Gilsu notices something wrong. All of a sudden, a fist connects with his face, and Blondie lands a punch. He used the kick as a feint for a devastating blow. He laughs, telling Gilsu that in the end, it doesn't matter. He sweeps again. The impact creates a smoke screen, and Blondie laughs. There's no way Gilsu can take a kick while on the ground and keep fighting. Blondie basks in his glory, telling Gilsu that this is what's waiting for him when he tries to grow a pair. Gilsu calls out to Blondie. Blondie freezes in horror. The cat's out of the bag. Gilsu has his leg locked. He sweeps him off his feet and sends him flying into the ring, landing on top of Blondie. Gilsu realizes something is wrong with his kicks. There's no way his shins should be that hard. His speed also slowed with every swing of his leg, and he saw something glint inside his pants. Gilsu grabs his trouser leg. Blondie panics, telling him to let go. He doesn't swing that way. Gilsu calls him a bastard and tears off the fabric, revealing metal braces wrapped around his shins. This cheating son of a gun has just been exposed. Gilsu grabs his leg again, and he screams in pain as Gilsu reveals the treacherous traitor he is. Everyone holds their breath because this lying piece of trash has been using steel shin pads to deliver those devastating kicks. Gilsu yells that he got tired because of all the steel he has been building. Everyone boos him and calls him a lying son of a gun. Even Hio realizes that things are going out of hand and that it is better if they stop the fight. Gilsu only grins because now is not the time to stop the fight, but to see how it progresses. After all, the fight is as good as over. Gilsu clenches his fist and gives Blondie the beating of a lifetime. He sits on top of his chest and gives him a free nose job and dental makeover. The only thought Blondie can have is how this frail boy can have so much strength, because by the looks of it, he should have died 5 minutes ago. Gilsu realizes the expression on Blondie has on his face, and it is the same one he has worn all his life when he was bullied senseless. It is the same one people wear when they are helpless for years. But today is the day he is finally free of those expressions. He is no longer the coward he used to be. He pours all those years of frustration, anger, and resentment into his roar and delivers the finishing blow, a blow so hard that it obliterates Blondie's nose, turning him into Krillin. Perhaps now he will get stronger without those knee pads. Gilsu is finally hailed the winner of the fight, and everyone screams his name. He has brought down Blondie with his own 2 fists, and he prays proudly. Speaking of Blondie, he is lying there thinking about his life choices. He cannot believe that he lost to a wimp like him, and on top of that, he also lost his street cred and his gang. The gang gives him a stink eye before leaving, calling him a useless bastard. Blondie feels despair for the first time in his life, helpless as he wants to call out to them not to leave him, while everyone is spitting and throwing stuff at him, calling him a sick, dirty bastard. He curses, and Gilsu pulls up. Surprisingly, Gilsu extends his hand, telling him to get up already and stop being a drama queen. He indeed used dirty tricks, and it is true that because of those kicks, he will not be sitting for an entire week, but in the end, he got the beating of a lifetime. Next time, they will fight fair and square. Blondie's eyes light up. He cannot believe the kindness he is being shown after being bullied relentlessly. He smirks because this guy is really interesting, and he cannot believe that he is actually going for a handshake. Even Jang is proud of his tiger cub. As a lion who raised him, he has high expectations for him. All of a sudden, a gorilla monster arrives, wondering why AMG High School is so pathetic, and why everyone is so weak. Everyone starts murmuring as the son of a gorilla grabs Blondie by the hair, telling him that he does not belong in this high school. If he cannot beat a wimp like him, he calls him a disgrace to all the graduates. Sun arrives, and Blondie is on the verge of crying. Gilsu wonders who this muscle-bound freak is. Just then, the lion finally decides to step in, taking a break from aura farming. Jang arrives, and Sun calls him a traitor. After watching these 2 losers fight, he is itching for a battle. He cannot believe their high school is such a mess, and he announces that he is going to take over the school. For some reason, he is acting extra cocky, and Jang reminds him that he always has his tail between his legs. Since he lacks the other wood that is supposed to be between his legs, like a lion prowling his prey, he decides to show what it means to be in the arena. They face each other, each one 200 pounds of pure muscle. The crowd whispers that they never thought they would see them in the ring again. Gilsu wonders who exactly this Sun fellow is, and why he has beef with Jang. Jin explains that Sun used to compete with Jang toe-to-toe for the top spot at UMG High, before the arena was ever set up. Gilsu is surprised that someone could go toe-to-toe with that lean, mean killing machine. A loud stomp catches his attention as Sun stretches his muscles. It has been a while. Jang tells him not to bring up old cringy stuff, and to get the show on the road. They start, and Sun makes the first move, zooming in and slamming his fist into Jang. Their collision is enough to send all the weaklings flying away. They are incredibly strong, like 2 tornadoes colliding. Surprisingly, Sun meets Jang head-on, and smirks before going at him again. Jang is on the defensive, dodging each blow with surgical precision. Gilsu realizes that Sun is huge and super quick, but Jang is incredible at dodging it so cleanly. He wonders what happens if Jang loses, and Jin nervously says that the arena will be abolished, and UMG High School will return to being a jungle, all because Sun is Kang's brother's lackey. Jin wonders who this brother is that he keeps hearing about. Like a greasy bear out of hibernation, Sun yells at Jang to stop running away. His past victories do not mean squat, because right now he is fighting the new him. He rushes in and tries to crush him with a facepalm, but Jang barely reacts in time and dodges it. Sun laughs and continues to overwhelm him with his blows, saying he should have challenged Jang ages ago. Gilsu nervously wonders if his mentor will survive tonight. From what Jin has heard, Sun is stronger while Jang is more skilled, but right now Sun seems to have the upper hand in both strength and technique. Jang lies there in a cloud of steam. Sun is extra smug today because his body feels different. It turns out this cheating son of a gun has been using ability enhancers. He boasts that no one will be stronger than him, and raises his kick to end the fight. But Jang has been waiting for this moment. Everyone is shocked as Jang wonders what he is even talking about, before punching the gorilla several feet away and sending him crashing into a pillar. Jang tells him that he is wasting his time at this point, and they should just get it over with. He unleashes a flurry of blows, and Sun cannot believe how incredibly strong those punches are. He wonders if Jang was going easy on him all this time. Jang smiles, clenches his fist, and uses lion fists to tear through gorilla brains. Sun is on the ropes, and Jang tells him to stop wasting his time, to go dig a grave and die in it, because this is over. He slams his fist into Sun's abdomen, sending him tearing through the crowd and shocking everyone watching. Jang cannot believe how strong he is, and now it makes sense why he is the undefeated champion of IMG High. He then glances over his shoulder, asking Blondie where the hell he thinks he is going. Blondie freezes as Jong reminds him that he is a dirty little cheater, and that he will have to pray to Paris for that. Blondie cannot believe what he is hearing, as Jong orders him to get in the ring, telling him he will show everyone what happens to rule breakers in the arena. A loud clank echoes through the arena as Jong arrives holding a metal bat. Blondie looks like he is about to wet his pants at any second. Is Jong really about to fudge him up with a steel rod? This guy is an absolute beast, and with his power Blondie would die. He starts pleading for his life, begging Jong to spare him, swearing that he did not cheat on purpose. Jong tells him to get down. Blondie realizes it is useless, but he still latches onto Jong's leg, so desperate that he might as well be taking care of Jong's third leg. He starts crying, saying that he was bullied as a kid, and that only because of being bullied did he put those things on, so he could survive. He calls himself a victim and swears he will never do it again in his entire life. All he needs is forgiveness. Jong gets down on one knee. For a moment, it looks like he is about to show him the Vegeta movement, but instead of mercy, he repeats through gritted teeth that Blondie should get down and stick his bottom up. Blondie realizes he is screwed up big time. Tears fall freely from his eyes as fear completely takes over. Jong tells him to clench his cheeks and his teeth, or else he will be unconscious. As soon as Jong raises the baton, Blondie completely loses it and starts crying over and over again. Jong swings the baton with every ounce of force he has, but surprisingly, he stops an inch from Blondie's bottom. The reason he stops is obvious. Blondie has wet his pants, and a puddle of yellow fluid is pooling around him. Everyone is stunned. Blondie really just pissed his pants. His hair is not the only thing that is yellow about him now, and they will remember this moment until the day he dies. Jong scoffs, annoyed that Blondie managed to mess up the arena again. He tells him that he will not be getting a second chance, ever. Jong looks at him with pure disappointment written all over his face. Jong then roars, telling everyone that this is what the arena should be about. They should not overthink it. They should fight fair, accept the outcome, and give it everything they have. Let the stronger one win. If anyone keeps fighting at school or breaking arena rules, they will pay the price personally. Jong makes it clear that he is no longer interested in loophole strategies. After all, he does not want his own hole tied in a loop by Jong himself. He tells everyone to stop worrying, enjoy the arena, and look at what just happened. A coward who was too scared to step into the arena on his first day has knocked down someone stronger than him and walked away a proud victor. This is what their high school is about. The crowd erupts, chanting Jong's name over and over again. Jong smiles. That is all he has to say. Without further ado, they should continue with their day. The next day, Jong is busy bringing hell down on a sandbag as it owes him money. He keeps punching it over and over again, and Jong wonders what this guy eats for breakfast. Nails and bourbon. He is straining hard after such a big fight. He notices Gilsu staring at him like a fangirl, and asks what he is still doing here. There is nothing left to learn, and if Gilsu is here to ask for more training, he should take a hike. Jong tells him to buzz off, but Gilsu says that is not why he is here. He is here to say thank you. Without stopping his drills, Jong says there is no need to thank him. It is part of the job. Gilsu wonders why this gorilla-brained man is being so cold all of a sudden, but he still asks his question. Why did Jong help him when he was about to drop out? He heard that Gilsu is the first person Jong ever trained, and that he talked him out of quitting, so he wants to know why. Jong says he just had to prove something to someone, and that he now has plenty to say to that person, because Gilsu followed his instructions well. He steps forward and tells Gilsu that he did a great job, even patting his shoulder. Gilsu freezes. This is more validation than he has received in his entire life. He thanks Jong for everything, sensing that something about him feels different today, but choosing not to ask why. Later, the arena is filled with high spirits. Participants are throwing hands in controlled violence, and excitement ripples through the stands. Gilsu's speech has restored order. Gilsu has become a regular, smiling confidently as match after match sharpens him. They grow up fast, and now he is generously handing out free nose drops to anyone who faces him. His punches are stronger, his rhythm cleaner, and he knows how to finish fights. He waits for an opening, lands a decisive blow, and gives the crowd exactly what they came for. He roars in defiance. The arena has him hooked. This place is his second home. At a juvenile detention center, Kang sits in the meet and greet area. The door creaks open, and someone steps inside. Kang calls him brother. The man only smiles. He was supposed to bring back interesting stories, but instead, he brings news of loss. Kang nervously says that Jang is now the top dog at the school. The man laughs, calling Jang a big boy, saying that even if the master is gone, a hound should never take the master's place. This is Hana, Kang's bigger brother and former leader of YMG High, and judging by his disheveled hair and bloodshot eyes, this man is seriously bad news. At the juvenile center, Kang tells Hanhei that there's nothing to worry about. He's got it in the bag. If the people at school can't help him out, then he'll use outside means. Hanhei tells him not to be an idiot. He can't send a boy to do a man's job. and he should stop acting like someone he's not. These words hit Kang like a ton of bricks. Hanhei gets up. His daddy will be getting him out of this situation. In a couple of months, he will be a free man again. Kang is glad, and his brother tells him not to do anything to ruin the family's reputation. Everything will be sorted once he's out of here. The heavy-hearted Kang agrees and looks at his brother leave. It looks like terrorizing middle school is this family's entire life mission. Bushy bros tell his bros that it's about time that he lets them know that he's finally got a date lined up. He even has one for them both. A girl wants to hang out with him. He excitedly yells that he needs his bros to help him out. Gilsoo nervously says that he has no experience with girls. He has kept his V-card for his whole life. Jin also says that he's booked a training session at the gym. Bushy Bros wonders if they're even straight. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to hang out with 10x10 baddies, and that's why he wants them alone. Jinhor, he has asked him out. Jin is the least interested of the boys. He's picking his ear, telling him to buzz off. Bushy Bros yell that it has to be on a weekend, and it's a sign. Gilsoo realizes that their bro is in a bind, and they should help him out. It looks like the baddie is into him. Jin is still not sure that anyone would want to be with a man who has 2 caterpillars instead of eyebrows and a face card that should have him arrested. Knowing how desperate Bushy Bros is, he would draft a traffic sign for all its signs. Bushy Bros calls him a bastard and promises to buy them burgers. Jin asks him to throw in desserts as well, and out of his desperation he accepts. Later they pull up to a coffee shop. Bushy Bros is so nervous that his hand is trembling. He wonders why he has butterflies in his stomach. Jin is relaxed, and Gilsoo is just riding along with whatever this is. He also wonders who the girl is. As if on cue, a 10x10 baddie walks into the room, has allies, and cascading brown hair. Gilsoo's heart skips a beat. For his virgin ass, this is overstimulation. Bushy Bros calls Jahie over while waving enthusiastically, and Gilsoo can't believe that this brain-dead 2-cent fighter really landed a baddie like that with a haircut like his. But turns out his girl is the other one, a redhead who enthusiastically calls out to him. They apologize for being late, and Bushy Bros introduces his buddies. All 6 of them sit together, and Gilsoo gets to sit in front of the 10x10 brown-headed baddie. She introduces herself as me, smiling that it's nice to meet him. Gilsoo is speechless. He's never had attention from a girl before. The day continues, and they start chatting together, asking how Bushy Bros is at school, since they go to the same cramped school class. Bushy Bros smiles. Gilsoo then proves himself to be the worst wingman in history, as he tells them that Bushy Bros never pay attention in class and watch fancam girl groups all the time. Bushy Bros can't believe that his bro is doing him dirty like that. He even goes as far as to say that he's always sleeping in class. Jahie can't believe that this is the same person she goes to school with. While he's desperately trying to clear his name, Gilsoo feels awkward as hell. Meaded picks up on how blocky he is. She warmly asks if he's always this quiet. Jahie can't believe that she's actually talking to him. He just can't stand loud conversations. They start hitting it off casually, and just when things are getting good, and she is asking what his personality is, Jin once again proves to be the worst wingman in history by cock-blocking our boy, and asking the ladies if they want to bounce somewhere else. He knows a singing room that can fit 6 people. Gilsoo scratches his cheek just when he was hitting it off. When they're at the karaoke bar, Bushy Bros is on the verge of blowing a nerve. He tells them to go ahead. He needs to have a word with his brothers, and they need to go use the bathroom. Jin cocks his head. He knows things are going south and tells them that he's already been to the bathroom and he doesn't need to go. The Bushy Bros grits his teeth, telling him to accompany him. He yells at him later, so why is he telling his girl all of that embarrassing stuff? They continue going back and forth until it blows into a fist fight. They want to saturate the arena, and Gilsoo tells them to hurry along while he goes keep the ladies company. He wonders why they're always ready to run the fade when they're together, but at least Bushy Bros is honest about his feelings, and he feels that he's been fumbling his chance. He immediately starts thinking about me and what a beauty she is. He wishes that he could find out more about her, and also wonders why her last name is. It sounds familiar, kind of like the guy who changed his life. When he arrives, he looks at a delinquent messing with babes. The delinquent tells them to bounce. He and his 2 buddies have a room, and they can have fun together. Gilsoo tells him to buzz off, and the delinquent doesn't take the hit, calling him a goddamn wimp, and wondering why they're hanging out with a loser when he belongs to a famous gangster group. He grabs my wrist and me struggles. He smirks, wondering why she doesn't want to go. Gilsoo is ready to run the fade and show everyone how cool he is, but before he gets his chance to show the ladies how cool he is, me turns the tables and flip the guy over her shoulder. She yells that she'll run the fade and beat the living daylight out of him. Gilsoo can't believe what just happened. From a damsel in distress, she's turned her opponent damned in hell. Bushy Brows girl grabs her head. She knew that this had happened. She turns to Gilsu, telling him that he doesn't need to help. Mi is fiercer than she seems. Sure enough, the guy tries to throw a punch, but she dodges and goes lefty-righty, good-nighty, and puts the man into a coma. The girl explains that her brother goes to YMG high school as well, and he also has a short name, just like me. Gilsu wonders where he heard it from, and realization dawns on him. This girl is Jang's little sister, just as fierce, first year at girls' high school. She yells at the delinquent that he should have listened, and asked nicely, why must they test her every now and then? Mai yells at her to let her go. They shouldn't test her anymore. This is me, 17 years old, and Jang's younger sister. The door creeps open, and a guy wonders how his buddy got beaten up by a girl. That's the most embarrassing story they've ever heard. They look down on me and try to jump her, acting all tough before they're socked in the face by Gilsu. Gilsu finally has his moment to shine and look cool in front of his buddy. His punch is so strong that they sense the other guy flying towards the wall. Even Mi is speechless. She didn't expect Gilsu to be so powerful, even though he had the physique of a stick man. Gilsu roars that he can't believe they tried to gang up on a defenseless girl. Well, not defenseless, but she still is a girl. Her friend didn't think that Gilsu would be so strong. Looks like UMG high school boys are built different. Gilsu strides towards Mi, asking if she's okay. Mi tells him that she's fine. There's nothing that can take down boys from UMG high, and she would have been in big trouble if not for him. Bushy Brows and Jin arrive and wonder why they are standing around the hallway. Are the bull rooms available? He walks towards Bushy Brows, complaining about what happened right now. He can't believe that they were attacked out of nowhere. Mi folded one of them like dirty laundry, and Gilsu took care of the others. He points at the thugs, but it looks like they've made a getaway using the fire exit. They're no longer here. They're running away. They're licking their wounds and wondering why they have to run from guys belonging to YMG high school. No wonder they were folded by a wimpy-looking guy. They wonder if they should go meet with Big Daddy to make sure that they can get their payback. It looks like the police don't exist in this world, and every high schooler who graduates gets a complimentary concussion and brain damage. Mixin is now all over Gilsu, asking about his workout routine and the secret to his strength. They're hanging around at the end of the group, and Gilsu smiles, telling her that she's also impressive. She's no damsel in distress. He finds it interesting. Boys are looking really good for a boy, and he might actually get himself a girlfriend. Mixise said her brother trained her, and she doesn't look anything like Gilsu. Gilsu smiles. He's also Gilsu's trainer, and he's really grateful to him. Mix wonders if he knows her brother, and Gilsu replies that he helped him out when he transferred schools. Mix's eyes widen. She realizes he's the guy her brother has been talking about non-stop, the first-year student who moved here. Gilsu is a little nervous. He remembers Jank telling him that he wanted to prove something to someone. Was that someone his sister? He also feels embarrassed, and hopes that Jank didn't reveal how pathetic he was at the start. Things turn even smoother when she brings out her phone and slides him her digits. She thought that it was really interesting what Jank told her, and it's cool to meet him, so they should get in touch. Even without knowing it, Jank has been a better wingman than Jin. Gilsu blushes and punches his digits in. Later, in abandoned factory, someone is being beaten to an inch of his life. He has a bat over his head, and the spiky-haired bastard is the head of the freak-off, asking if he will pay up with money, or G-pay. The man getting beaten whimpers that he doesn't have a penny to his name, and Spiky yells at him that he has other ways to make him pay. He'll be working for them until his debts are cleared. After conducting business, the guy who was folded by Gilsu and his girl arrive, asking Spiky to take care of those guys. But before he can complete the sentence, Spiky grabs his lips and shuts them, before slapping him across the face. He can't believe that he got his bottom handed to him by a girl. He whimpers that they all belong to YMG High, and they were freaks. Spiky finds it interesting and takes up the commission. It sounds fun. The next day, Jin and his bros are walking to class. They're both busy going at each other's throats already, primarily because they haven't heard from the baddies to date, but the same can't be said for Gilsu. Then at this moment, he's texting Mi, who's telling her about her day, and how she doesn't like pickles, even sending a cute emoji that gets his heart humming. When they cross by a bathroom, they look at Blondie kneeling and begging Kang to let him join his gang, and Kang tells him that he's a disgrace. The best he can do is not beat him up. Kang is desperately crying for another chance, but Kang spits on his hair and tells him to go away. He doesn't need any bad letters in his gang. He should drop out. Gilsu feels bad, but Jin grabs him by the shoulder and pulls him away. Gilsu wonders why every thug in a 10-mile radius wants to ride Kang's meat. It's not like being in a gang will do them any good at school. Jin explains that it's not what happens in school, but what happens outside. There's a big company called Gangsters, a real creative name, and there are crime syndicates that have high ties in high places, even the police and government. And Kang is the youngest son of the company president. Bushy Brows says that he was born into crime, and that's why Blondie wants to be in his gang. Gilsu can't believe it, and he didn't know that he lived in such a bad neighborhood. No wonder everyone is ready to pull out the blicky and run the fade. Late at night, Mi is walking through the streets. She really wants to go back home and wonders if her bro is home. While she's busy, someone runs towards her. It's a girl who has signs of violence all over her, and her hoodie is unzipped as well. She cries that someone is following her, and they should hide in an alley to save themselves. A big red flag, but Mi still acts out of kindness. A fatty arrives, glad that they have a hotter girl to play with. Mi tells them to back off, but they don't do anything. Just then, the girl she just saved pulls up a taser and tases her, smiling that she's not into fatties, but she hopes Mi is. Mi looks at the bittering little witch, and Spiky and his gang also arrive. Really, they are just a group of P-word kiddies. All of them had to jump a lone girl in the middle of the night. Spiky says that they should play together. Spiky smirks. It is heard that she has a fighting side to her, so maybe they should hang out and see how much of a fight she can put up. Someone lock him up and give him a wrist training order. One of them says that she shouldn't have messed with their group, and they will get her one way or another. She's messed with the wrong people. Mi wonders if he is brain dead. He is the one who started the fight, and now they are resorting to cheap tricks to take down a single girl. They're even making puns about her getting shocked. Spiky brings out a wooden bat, ready to bash her head in. She desperately tries to get up, fighting against every instinct she has. All she manages to do is roll away, as he slams the bat so hard that it shatters. The witch who stunned her is ready to go for another round since the first session wasn't effective. She promises to give her as many shock therapies as she wants. A blue light fills the alley, followed by silence. The crazy witch wants to have her to herself. She asks Spiky if she can keep her, and Spiky tells her that she is not her dog, and she doesn't get to keep her. He has used her so she should get her paws off. He tells one of his lackeys to bring her to the warehouse. Just then, footsteps echo through the alley. Someone is running towards the group, and if it is who I think it is, then they're in a world of trouble. The one who got beaten up is punched several meters away as our hero arrives. Our boy has arrived and should have realized sooner that his potential girlfriend was in trouble. Gilsoo looks like he is going to end their entire bloodlines. 30 minutes ago, he was busy texting with Boy Batty on his way back from the arena. He was talking with Mitty, asking about her day. Things were going smoothly, and they were hitting it off. All of a sudden, she sent weird messages with random texts, and he realized that something was wrong. It turns out that when she was tased, she kept her finger on a letter and sent it. That's how Gilsoo knew that something was wrong, and he needed to save his shorty. Spiky and the gang gather around him, and Spiky smirks. He didn't know that they would have come to me on this dinner date, but the more the merrier. Gilsoo tells them that they have messed with the wrong person. They are still lucky that there is Gilsoo who arrived, and not Jang, or else they wouldn't be eating anything anytime soon. Fatty takes the initiative to try to attack Gilsoo, taking him for a wink before being slapped across the field. Two other tugs try to punch him, but he dodges and makes quick work of them. One of them arrives, and the poor guy gets a smile makeover. Gilsoo realizes that each one of these dudes is weaker than the guys he smokes on an everyday basis at the arena. He can beat them all. Just when things are looking promising, Spiky arrives holding his wooden bat. He smirks and decides to take him on personally. He gains the upper hand for a moment as Gilsoo is on the defensive, dodging each attack. He then soars through the air and tells him that he is not good enough to grade him. His kick is so powerful that even though Spiky parries it with his bat, the bat shatters. He says that Gilsoo was an impressive kick, but they are only getting started. They rush, and Gilsoo yells at them to try him. What he doesn't know is that this is not an arena fight, but a street fight. They are bound to play dirty. Spiky trips Gilsoo, and he loses his confidence and lands on something soft. Spiky smirks, telling him that this is the most action he will probably get in his lifetime. It turns out he has landed on the witch's marshmallow. He immediately gets up and apologizes. The witch is turned on by how cute and embarrassed he is acting, and turns on her taser. Gilsoo realizes that this is some next-level freaky stuff, and he doesn't want to mess with it. She tries to tase him, and just when the taser is a few inches from his chest, someone kicks it away. Mibak has joined the fray and has regained control over her body. She is pissed off. The witch can't believe that she is back on her feet after getting tased. She has a block of charred wood in her hand. Mi smirks and explains that when Spiky bashed his bat against the asphalt, she had grabbed a piece, and when the witch had tried to tase her, she used the block of wood to block it, and then she played dead. It's thanks to Gilsoo that she was able to recover. Spiky tells everyone to get ready as the power couple stand back to back. Gilsoo is going to have a hell of a How I Met Your Mother story. If he ends up with his baddie, Gilsoo tells her that it's time to teach them a lesson. Gilsoo asks Mi if she's okay, and she thanks him for buying her time to recover. Now that they're fresh, they're ready to defend themselves and teach them a lesson. Spiky smiles. He's not here to create a scene, but if they're asking for it, then he'll happily entertain them. This dude has the nerve to first gang up on a girl, then tase her, then beat up her boyfriend, and claim that he's not here to create a scene. Even our boy decides to cut his bullfish by punching him in the face. He'll teach him a lesson about what happens when he crosses that line. The witch, on the other hand, is also ready to throw hands. Looks like she can fight as well. It turns into a check fight, and Mi cracks her knuckles. She's going to enjoy this. After all, she can't stand bad people living good lives. The witch rushes towards Mi, ready to beat her bottom. Meanwhile, Gilsu throws Spiky in a trash can, and that's honestly the perfect place for him. Gilsu tells Spiky that he can't even fight, and yet he talks so big. Spiky tells him that now that he's done warming up, they'll get started for real. This brain-dead loser thinks that it's the anime where he's going to go Super Saiyan. Turns out, instead of going Super Saiyan, he pops a steroid pill and immediately gets a power boost. He rushes towards Gilsu, and he's faster, and packs a meaner punch than before. As soon as Gilsu gets hit, he knows that this guy is trouble. Spiky then kicks him through the air, promising to give him a good-ass whoopin'. Gilsu realizes that he's gotten super strong. How did he regain his strength so fast? Spiky is getting a big head, wondering if his punches are knocking some humility into him. He continues to beat Gilsu, telling him to show him what that mouth does. Gilsu knows that he's tough and powerful, but why did he end up fighting a guy like him? Right now, Spiky looks like a demon straight from hell. Gilsu holds his ground, and he can't believe his luck. Even Spiky is alarmed by the crazy smile on his face, because Gilsu smiles. He's lucky because this is his favorite kind of matchup. If Spiky is a demon, then he is a demon slayer. He grabs Spiky's neck, pinning him in place, and punching his liver over and over again. He then grabs his neck again, and uses his head to give him a concussion. He continues to beat the living snot out of him, while tanking Spiky's punches. Spiky can't believe that he is facing a battle junkie, who takes hits like nobody's business. Gilsu even teases him for wanting to see how students from YMG High School fight. This is what a first year can do. He learns the decisive blow, sending him flying into a trash can. Gilsu says that he's been bullied all his life. No one can take a better hit than him, and now he can hit back twice as hard. He also remembers when Spiky popped something into his mouth before rushing in. Spiky took the biggest L of his life, even after ganging up on a defenseless girl using a taser, then a bat, and then steroids. He lost to one wimpy-looking kid. Suddenly, it gets darker, and Gilsu hears clapping behind him. He turns around in fear, wondering if Mi is okay. Mi is clapping for him, while standing on the witch's head. She ended her fight quickly, and saw him in action, and he was not bad. She then interrogates the witch, asking who sent her, and why she was tasered. She nervously explains that she is from the Bikesan group, and she did it for money. Gilsu remembers hearing about the group earlier. What is this group anyway? And why are they paying people to go after YMG High School? The brainless OF model explains that this group is the largest group in the area. It is an alliance of high schools that has emerged in the city about half a year ago. All the delinquents are grouping together, and all the fighters are joining their banners. There are other gang crews in the city as well, and this crew is growing at a faster rate. The only areas that are still safe are his school. That's why Spiky was behind this attack. He wanted to mess with his high school, and she was offered a ton of money to help them take care of stuff, so that she could help him make players out of high school students from YMG, so that he could become one of the 5 dragons. Gilsu can't believe that Spiky was working for such a cringy life goal. The group covers the entire city except for Tech University and YMG University. They don't have influence over there, and that's why he was curious to see how students from that high school fought. The witch gets up and wobbles. It looks like she won't be walking for the next week. But Mi is not done with her. She grabs her hoodie and tells her that it's time for payback. After punching her for a bit, they decide to leave. Gilsu apologizes since she's in this mess because of his school. She wonders why he apologizes, since her brother is the top dog of that school, and she feels responsible for it as well. Gilsu smiles and tells her that her brother is amazing, one of the best people he's ever met. It doesn't matter how fierce the group is, they won't touch YMG High School as long as they have Jang. He's like the pillar of peace, and the guys he fought today were not that strong. They didn't have the dog in them. She laughs and says that her brother is strong, out of the ordinary, but he was pretty amazing as well. Gilsu blushes, and she smiles, thanking him. This is the second time he has helped her, but the way she's not blushing and smiling. I sincerely hope our bro doesn't end up in the friend zone. Our boy starts blushing like an idiot. He's glad that he was able to save her. Meanwhile, Spiky is apologizing to a dude with dreadlocks. He tells Spiky that his problem is that he bites more than he can chew. Spiky apologizes. That's the only territory they don't have control over, and he wanted to help. The pimped up dude. The blinging bling demotes Spiky, and now he's a player. Spiky cries, pleading with him not to do it. But the dude tells him that he'll see him at the Coliseum. He grins. This is Tyrone, one of the 5 dragons of the group. A bunch of beta males are standing there with their tails between their legs, and their hands covering their little worms, all of them being called wimps, while everyone wonders why these weaklings ran away from home in the first place. Either they were living with Diddy, or they really thought they were going to make it big after running away. A man who looks like a patchwork quilt, thanks to all his scars, asks why they want to join the Thunderstorm gang. One of the whimpering idiots says it has been a month since they left home, and they heard they could get food and a place to live if they joined the gang. That answer does not earn him a place to live, but it does earn him a free nose job, courtesy of the patchwork guy. The punch is so brutal that he goes flying, and the rest of the wimps look like they are about to wet their pants. Their boss snaps, yelling about what he just said regarding food and a place to live, asking if this looks like a freaking soup kitchen or an underground fighting club. This man is Gong, the leader of the Thunderstorm gang of runaways. All the wimps immediately apologize and bolt for the door, swearing they will never come back. Gong watches them go and cannot believe these half-brains ditched their own friend. No guts, no loyalty, worse than the French. He wonders what is wrong with young blood and why no real talent has been showing up lately. One of his lackeys whispers that it is because of the Baeksun group. Gong lights up a cigarette, realizing that those guys are the reason no talented fighters are joining their gang anymore. They need to build up their strength, and right on cue, a new face shows up asking if they need a hand. Instead of being happy, everyone nearly has a stroke, because it is Blondie, aka Park. Park looks around and asks how the Thunderstorm gang turned into a weakling club on the verge of collapse. The fighters immediately get ready to beat his bottom black and blue, calling him a bullfish, but Park does not care. He says he is here for an interview, since he is clearly more qualified than the clowns they were just talking to. Gong steps forward and tells him he does not get it. This is not corporate, this is a back alley gang, and they would rather die than take back a traitor. Park does not get to apply because he is a shameless bastard. Park tries to sell himself anyway, lying on his resume and saying he is here for a task. If he completes whatever task they assign him, he wants back in. Gong finds that interesting and decides to take him up on the offer. The next day at high school, Gilsoo is stretching his muscles, looking like he exercised way too hard the night before. For his sake, let us hope that exercise does not mean laying the pipe on me, because he does not want to run the field with Big Brother. He decides to grab some ointment from the clinic, and notices Park getting bullied by his former crew. Redhead asks if Park really wants back in, saying they might try to persuade Kang, but in exchange, Park has to introduce them to the Thunderstorm gang baddies lying around. They want to have some fun together, and they want Blondie as their wingman. Park storms off, not interested in becoming a pimp for these losers. Mohawk guy yells that Park should be grateful for a life-changing opportunity, especially for a loser who wet his pants in the arena. He even throws a cola can at him, but Park kicks it so hard it turns into a missile. He tells them to remember their place, explaining that he only tolerated them because he wanted to join Kang's gang. But now that it is off the table, he does not need to put up with their nonsense anymore. He says he is dropping out of high school. Mohawk tells him to reconsider and asks if Kang even knows about this, but Park just smiles. There is no point studying in this school anyway. He tells them to keep glazing Kang and take care of his meat. Gilsoo overhears everything and cannot believe Park is actually dropping out. From a wimp, he has turned into a career-ending fighter. Park packs his stuff, not caring about Kang or anyone else, because he plans to start over with the Thunderstorm gang. That is when Gilsoo shows up and tells him they need to talk. He heard Park is dropping out and asks if it is because of what happened in the arena. If that is the case, he says Park can always prove himself again by running the fade in the arena, and Gilsoo is ready whenever he is. That sets Park off. He throws his bag down and calls Gilsoo a son of a gun, saying he is one sentence away from bashing Gilsoo's skull in. He blames Gilsoo for everything that happened to him and asks if Gilsoo is satisfied now that he got what he deserved. He warns Gilsoo to watch where he walks at night and tells him to forget about the arena because he is going to die out in the streets. Park storms away, yelling that this has been the worst day of his life. Gilsoo stands there realizing he might be responsible for ending this guy's entire future, and it eats at him. As Park walks off, an envelope slips out of his box of belongings, and Gilsoo notices it lying on the ground. Later, at an abandoned gas station, a bunch of thugs are gathered around a bonfire, complaining that they have not made any money since last week. They blame the Thunderstorm guys and swear their fighters have pillow punches. One of them steps forward, and before anyone understands what is happening, Park shows up with a baton resting on his shoulder and metal braces probably still strapped to his shins. He tells them they have two choices. Either leave the area or join the Thunderstorm gang, because those are the only options they get if they want to live. The thugs start laughing and teasing him, saying they heard he was busy taking care of Kang's joystick to join his daddy's gang, and now he is crawling back to Thunderstorm. What a pathetic existence. As they talk trash, Park remembers his deal with Gong. His task is to wipe out the competition so Thunderstorm gang can survive, and if he wants his old position back, he has to run the fade again. One idiot lunges at him, but Park parries the blow with his baton. Another throws a punch, and Park blocks it with his iron shins, proudly telling him those things are bulletproof. Then he goes to work, kicking the stuffing out of all of them. He tells them he does not want to work hard, but if they are ready, they should all come at him at once. They clash in a messy brawl, and Park fights like a man who has nothing left to lose. Later, Gong is asked if he really wants Park back. He stares at an old picture of Park from before he became Blondie, knowing that if Park succeeds, he takes out a rival gang, and if he fails, it is not their problem. Gong smiles sadistically as he burns the photo. He has nothing to lose, and this is what happens to traitors. He smiles to himself, already planning to abuse the hell out of Park and throw him straight under the bus. Park is locked in, and he's really filling the abandoned gas station with bodies. The only one left barely breathing is the head wimp, while everyone else is already defeated. The wimp calls him a monster, and Park isn't even sure he was this strong before. He just smiles, because that's what happens when you live in hell. He's a changed man now, and he only has one thing left to say: goodbye to his molars. They shouldn't get on his nerves ever again, is the last thing he says before stomping on him and enjoying the crunch of bones. At YMG High School, a couple of students are yapping about how they have to take out Park's stuff, wondering why they have to throw out his uniform and everything else. Are they his personal butlers or something? Gilsoo overhears them talking about Park, about how he went back to a runaway gang and secured himself a position, and how he's attacking anyone he didn't like from YMG High. They'd better watch their backs now. Jin wonders about that, since he's destined to be high on Park's hit list, and Gilsoo asks if he knows why Park dropped out. Jin says that now that the gang doesn't have his back, this was bound to happen. The only reason that Delinquent came back to school was to hang around his gang and eventually join his father's gang. That was the only career option he wanted, and now that it's off the table, there's no reason to come to school anymore. Gilsoo still can't believe that he dropped out, but with what he went through, he wouldn't blame him. Even Bushi wonders who would want to be friends with a guy like that, since without a gang he wouldn't have anyone to talk to. Gilsoo starts feeling bad for the washed-up villain. Later, a kid is playing red light, green light, and all his fellows freeze when he looks over his shoulder. He starts again, and when he turns back, he catches Gilsoo moving, telling him that he lost. He asks who the hell he is, and Gilsoo Narisi says he's looking for someone named Jiang. Someone steps forward and introduces herself as Jiang, a polite-looking girl. Back at the orphanage, she can't believe that Park really dropped out. Gilsoo tells her this letter was addressed to her, pulled from Park's belongings, because while he didn't bother taking anything else from school, this letter mattered to him. Jiang isn't sure how to get in contact with Park either, but ever since he left the orphanage, she's been sending letters just to find out if he was okay. Gilsoo is surprised to learn that Park came from an orphanage, and honestly, that explains the fatherless behavior. Jiang says he doesn't have anyone, and they're the only family he's ever had. She remembers being bullied relentlessly as a kid, while everyone tried to console her, and some fatty just licked his popsicle, calling them monkeys and mocking them for not having parents. They were bullied every day, and the only savior they had was Park, back before the $20 haircut and $10 bleach. She remembers Park beating the stuffing out of bullies to protect his family, and to them, he was their hero. It really is true that you either die a hero or live long enough to turn into what you fought. The day he changed was when he was beaten relentlessly, and mocked for not having a mommy or daddy to back him up. A gang beat him black and blue, telling him not to bark and not to bite more than he could chew. With no other option, he was bullied all through middle school, and that's when he stopped smiling. That's when he joined Thunderstorm Gang. She remembers the day he left the orphanage, and when he came back he was a completely different person, rocking a low taper fade and blonde hair. He showed up smiling, holding bags full of snacks, announcing that he was back, but she felt fear crawl through her body. Even though he still smiled and acted kindly to the kids, she eventually realized he was still the same Park underneath. He visited every month, bringing snacks and souvenirs, but ever since he dropped out, he hasn't come around anymore. Gilsoo feels awful. It's like she's describing a completely different person from the Park he knew, the scumbag who fought dirty in the arena and pissed his pants to become the school's laughingstock. With a trembling voice, Jiang admits it frightens her, because it feels like Park will stop being himself soon and turn into someone horrible. Gilsoo doesn't have the heart to tell her that he already has. At Thunderstorm House, Gong is beating the living daylights out of a colleague with a club, screaming that after being given food and a place to stay, the kid still had the gall to return without meeting his quota. The kid cries, apologizes, and promises to bring more money next time. Gong lifts the bloodied weapon and tells him this is what awaits him if he disappoints them again, then calmly lights up Sake, muttering that kids these days don't know how to act. After disciplining him, the same way my dad disciplines me, after I fail a math test, Gong starts ranting about how things weren't like this back in his day. Park can't believe the boomer energy coming off him, especially with the back in our day speech. Gong tells Park that since he took down a rival gang all by himself, he's proven he has the skills, and that almost makes up for betraying them. Now they'll see if he's worthy of joining again. Park snaps, yelling that this wasn't part of the deal because he was promised a position once the gang was wiped out. Gong just laughs, calling it a two-step verification process, and tells him that if he doesn't like it, he can always drop his resume at McDonald's. Park would rather die than work for minimum wage, so he asks what more Gong wants. While smoking his cig, Gong tells him that Park said he'd do whatever it takes to rejoin, and now there's one last step. He needs to kill someone. Gong smirks. While continuously spamming lung damage, Gong casually wonders if Park will really do anything to rejoin the gang. Park freezes as Gong asks if he's actually ready to off someone because he can't believe what he's hearing. When did this go from high school delinquent nonsense to hardened criminal territory? Gong suddenly bursts out laughing, and all his lackeys join in, wondering if Park seriously believed that. Gong tells him to loosen up and calls him a doofus, while Park wonders what kind of warped joke this even is, because the only joke on the rooftop is Gong himself. Gong snuffs out his cig and tells him to relax, because he doesn't actually need to kill anyone, just do something as risky as it is. He flicks his lighter open and stares at Park, the flame dancing between them, before explaining the real job. Park just needs to torch a motorbike, and they'll make several million yen off it, with advance payment included. Profitable jobs like this don't come often, so he'd better grab the chance. Park can't believe it, asking if he really has to burn a bike, and Gong tells him not to overthink it. If he does this, he gets his position back at Thunderstorm Gang. Later, Park walks alone down an alley, deep in thought, realizing that if he gets caught, he's headed straight to juvie for arson. He's exactly the kind of guy who'd end up dropping the soap and getting his dungeons explored. And while being a piss boy sounds better than becoming a prison wife, he's already come too far to back out now. He stops when he sees the orphanage, the only home he's ever known, and curses himself, wondering why he even came here. A gentle voice calls out to him, and when he turns, he sees Gong. She looks nervous as they sit together on the swings, and Park asks why she's wandering around the neighborhood at night. He jokes that she didn't end up on the streets, did she? But she tells him she can't sleep because she's worried about him. He never answers her calls. Park tries to lie, saying he's living well and just too busy, but she knows that's bullfish. She reminisces about the playground and how they used to ride the swings all the time, and Park smiles genuinely for the first time in a while. He remembers how he never got to ride because he was always the one pushing everyone else. Gong asks if he remembers when she got hurt because he pushed too hard, and he laughs, saying he only ever tried to make everyone happy, even if it never really worked. She teases him, saying she still has the scar to prove it, and Park laughs again, admitting he probably got carried away because she looked like she was having fun. She tells him they were bullied every time they came to this playground, and that he was their hero, their all might, but right now he looks rough. She offers to take him back to the orphanage so he can stay with them like old times. Park stands up, knowing their paths split a long time ago. He doesn't belong here anymore, and he tells her not to worry about him because he won't be coming around for a long time. Tears pool in her eyes as she asks why he's saying that, because it sounds like he's disappearing. The next day, Park douses a motorbike in gasoline, trying to stay calm as everything goes according to plan. He checks the surroundings. No people, no cameras, barely any cars. He tosses the tank aside and pulls out his lighter, reminding himself that he really needs to finish high school, because only an idiot would light a bike while standing next to it. All he has to do is torch it, and his life gets easier. He doesn't think twice, because this feels like the only way he survives. He remembers growing up without parents, a scrawny kid walking around like he owed the place rent, realizing early on that other kids got things for free that he never would. That longing lodged itself deep in his chest. He remembers getting beaten black and blue for telling on kids, genuinely believing a teacher would save him, only to be beaten harder while they laughed and called him a loser. One of them mocked him, wondering what made this idiot think he could throw hands with bigger guys, especially without parents to back him up. Another pulled out a box cutter, promising free plastic surgery so maybe Park could get adopted by decent parents in a white neighborhood, telling him to remember he earned this himself. The memory freezes when a door creaks open and everyone stops. A voice demands to know what the hell they're doing, as a group of corporate-looking businessmen step in, mocking the brats for acting like big dogs. One bully snaps back, asking if they're supposed to be scared of Japanese businessmen, before getting punched so hard he'll be eating pudding for life. Teeth scatter, someone calls him a cheeky bastard, and Park feels something ignite as he watches them get folded. That's when he learns they're part of a gang group, the kind you don't mess with, and he understands something important. To survive, you have to become a predator. Afterward, the men bow deeply to someone higher up, apologizing for the mess. A man with a goatee steps forward, radiating authority, his presence like a dragon. That's when Park decides he needs to become something like that, a dragon no one hunts. That's where the tattoo idea comes from, and why he believes he has no choice. Suddenly, water splashes over him, snapping him back to reality. A voice tells him to stop, and Park can't believe this loser tracked him down. Gilsoo has arrived, warning him that if he pisses his pants again, everyone will call him a bad wetter. Looks like this is Park's redemption arc, whether he likes it or not.